I can go ahead and share.
You know what, man? We should go live on Instagram. Somebody.
I can go ahead and share.
We'll share that, right? All right, there we go. All right,
Give us a second, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We're sharing the feed right now just to make sure that everybody's in circuit. And we're going to get started in just a second.
We got 2 people on. 1 person on.
Appreciate those 2 people. You know,
It's back to 1.
coming. If for those watching, go ahead and share that feed for us. And we're going to get started real quick. We know y'all want to watch New Edition at 9 o'clock. So we're going to try to, yeah. New Edition comes on tonight. And a lot of people have been talking about it. So we're going to try to. Y'all think that New Edition going to be nice?
Yeah, I've seen them before in concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Okay.
What?
No
Go ahead,
pack.
boy. You ready to bust a step out? What? You dressed up like trans man tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It is
Like a young
Just
Ralph.
hang in there with us, folks. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Just sharing the live feed right now. Just hang in there with us, folks.
I got you, right? I got you, Playboy. I got you.
I got you, folks. I got you.
Hello.
All right. All right, folks. I want to welcome everybody to the Gray Area. This is your boy Ray E.
P. Wills.
It's your boy Duke. I'm in the building.
Hey,
Sorry.
man. Come on, man.
We
What
in the
you
building,
doing over
man.
there,
Come on, man. I'm looking at all the comments already, man. Good, man.
Please, man.
This is Duke, man. I'm in the building. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
We Lisa Hughes is in the building.
Hey,
I mean,
What's
we've
happening, Lisa?
been waiting on this. I know I have for at least a week.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Relationships is a huge topic right now.
Oh, man.
2016 was a little weird for a lot of people. It was I don't know if this is considered 2016 was the year of single life, breakup life. We had some people
Issues.
we had some people live through that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're going to talk about it. We have a guest also, Raquel.
Hey.
How you doing? Don't be shy. Look,
What's happening, Raquel?
That's the problem.
That's how the relationship start right there. Shy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk.
Then
You
6
know what I'm
months
saying?
in,
6 months in. Oh, 6 months
man.
in. Uh-oh, she real shy.
6
man. We
months
breaking
in.
stuff in
You
here.
see, you
Yeah.
done came to the gray area.
Ain't a great
I didn't
area.
even touch it.
Technical difficulties. She done came in.
It ain't even 6 months in the relationship
She
yet.
Tow up your crib already, boy.
Come on,
I
man.
know how to decorate.
Uh,
Yeah, I know how to decorate, boy. I used to do that back in high
we got some good stuff for you tonight. We're gonna talk about a lot of good things. I have a strong lineup here that I think that y'all will agree. And if y'all don't, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, we gonna get to talking about affairs, infidelity, cheating, sexual problems. Don't act like y'all don't know what those are. You know, y'all meet somebody and
I don't know what sexual problems are, brother.
you know, yeah, y'all meet somebody and it ain't what y'all thought it was, and you know, and then that's what it is. So, do me a favor. Who's
Somebody's volume not down.
Somebody volume. Lisa.
Hello. Hey, she at the dinner table.
Hands.
Hey, listen, man.
Get
Hold
your
on real
hands
quick.
smacked.
She pulled up here playing Little Yaki or Lil Uzi.
Lil Yachty.
I heard it. Yeah, Lil Yachty.
Lil Yaki.
Hold on.
That's how his name
Yachty,
look.
whatever his name is.
Lil Yachty.
Who, me?
Yes.
You pull.
Oh, really?
I was playing.
I was playing church music. Right?
There it is.
Oh, man.
There it is.
You ain't
No,
got to
I'm
play
lying to
church
kick it. I
music.
didn't. I wouldn't.
Shout out to Relationship Soup.
Thank you.
I mean, I was there in the beginning when it was just a brainstorming idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
5,000 members later. I mean, you got
10,000.
Yeah, we're close to 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
we're like-
10,000.
We're like 9,000, like 100.
And you got a lot of people that like post and chime in, and they just get to talking about the relationships for real.
Absolutely.
It's a real deal.
Yeah.
And
How long ago did you start that?
Well.
Yeah,
okay.
can you give us the whole breakdown of like how it came about and everything?
Okay, well, I mean, Relationship Soup has actually been around for a while. It's just that I really didn't go hard with it, for lack of a better term, until like really a couple years ago. But it really just kind of started out as I was in a relationship. Okay, I was out of town. This is back when I thought I was gonna be Miss, Anchor broadcast woman. But anyway, I was out of town, and I've always been blessed with a really strong support system.
Okay.
I was on my way back home, and I was like, I want to start something, because how many people don't have a strong support system? I've always had a strong support system. Like, I always had my mom, my dad, family members, whoever I could talk to when I needed relationship advice or whatever. So anyway, and plus I was praying for purpose at the time, because I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So anyway, I was on my way back home. I had my suitcase like right next to me. I had my laptop out, my MacBook Pro. So I was like, I know I want to start a forum on Facebook. So I put in I knew I wanted relationship in the title. So I was like, okay, relationship brew, relationship live. So then finally Relationship Soup came to me. I said, bam, Relationship Soup. So then I put in Relationship Soup, started the forum, invited a few friends, and then it I have my value. But I mean, we talk about being single, relationships with yourself, family, co-workers, any type of relationship, we're talking about it.
Right.
And then, of course, I mean, Ray, as you know, we've reached out to the community. I mean, we recently did a fundraiser with Gary Brackett where we raised money for
the Colts. You're a former Colts player.
Nice.
So we've fed the homeless. We've helped families to not get evicted from their homes. So Relationship Soup is levels to it.
It's more than just healing relationships.
Absolutely.
Y'all out there in the community really doing things.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
One thing is, look, Valentine's Day coming up. Don't be starting no arguments with your girl.
Every
So
day
you
should
ain't
be
gotta-
Valentine's Day, man.
So you ain't got to buy no presents and no gifts. We know what time it is.
Man,
This is that season.
Yeah, man. Every day should be Valentine's Day. We shouldn't just let February 14th
Man, you only
be
saying
one
that,
day,
man,
man.
because Fee's in the other
Man,
room.
ain't got
I
nothing to
know.
do with who's in the other rooms in the building,
You only
man.
saying that because your lady's
America's
in the
gonna
other
make
room.
money, man. America's gonna make money, man.
Let's
One day to go
let's-
spend some money, man.
Let's dive in this. I know it's a lot of people anxious in here and what's going on in relationships. There's a lot of people that hit us up. I got a strong list of stuff that we need to help people out with, and chime in about. So here's number one, and it has to do with affairs, infidelity, cheating, people surviving infidelity warning signs. This has everything to do with sexting, long-term affairs, and this is the biggest one: financial infidelity.
What?
Do y'all know what that is? Does anybody?
Is that lying to keep it back how much you make?
That's when you paying for somebody that you're not supposed to be with, and you
Paying for somebody on the side?
That's like sugar. Yeah, that's like you having your sugar daddy on the side.
Oh.
That's financial. For a man, it'd be a man paying for a woman. He got a woman at home, be paying for another woman to take flights and stuff like that, and then vice versa. And so, what are y'all thoughts on? And Lisa, you probably seen a lot of this. People, going through it where they was with a person for a long time and got cheated on, and they didn't see the warning signs. What are some things that you see and hear, that go on around that, and how do people heal from that? How do they get over it?
Well, one thing that, I want people to start with is I don't think that you should always beat yourself up about, oh, well, I should have seen the signs, because really people have gotten really savvy with lying to kick it. That's just a phrase I like to use.
Lying to kick it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the signs are not always there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. Oh, well, I should have seen it. But I do want people to get away from just trying to beat themselves up. Oh, well, I should have seen it. I mean, I've seen so much with cheating and infidelity and stuff. I mean, people have confided so much. I have something called From the Principal's Inbox. So that's where people submit their real life situations. And they talk
You get a lot of inboxes from people that stuff happened to them.
A lot of inboxes.
Man.
I mean, stuff from, hey, this man is molesting my child, to
my God. Wow.
yeah, to I caught my boo cheating because I went through their phone. You know what I mean? So as far as dealing with cheating, I mean,
the unstoppable force.
I'm not one person. I'm not going to tell a person to leave their man or their woman, because people go, at least should I leave? What should I do? I'm not going to tell you what to do from that aspect. You have to assess what works for you, because what might work for me might not work for you. And you just have to assess if, it's something that you can live with, because I know a couple where they both cheated and now, hey, they've been together for many years now. I know another couple, one person cheated.
It can be survived.
Absolutely.
Cheating is not the end. Some people can't handle it, and then others understand and live through it.
Absolutely.
You can live through anything if magic made it.
Man, this has nothing to do with
magic.
HIV.
Is that
man.
magic in the sheets?
No, it's not but HIV. It's talking about Magic cheated, man. And he survived. Him and Cookie still together, man.
Oh, you talking about Magic Johnson?
Oh, from that.
Yeah.
Okay. From that angle.
From that angle, man, we had nothing to do with AIDS, man. Come on, man. Him and Cookie still kicking it, even though he was diagnosed.
So
Allegedly.
There's different levels.
Yeah.
There's different levels. So you got the people who, I can't take this no more. I'm done with you. All it takes is one time. Then you got the people who are wrapped in emotionally, but don't necessarily want to give it up because they've invested a lot. So they're willing to accept that and move on. But, from a woman's perspective, how do y'all feel about that? Like let's say a dude cheated on you, but you invested in him, so you want to stay with him for whatever. How do you feel about that? You like, I'm going to cheat one day too. Like, how do you handle that?
I don't believe it. And as far as relationships, because I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. So I believe in karma, and I believe that, what you put out, you get back. I'm not going to pay you back that way. I've been cheated on, absolutely. For me, that's a deal breaker. I don't want to work it out because I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not going to forget. So I'm going to make your life very miserable. So it's best for me just to go my separate ways.
So you one that got to get up out of there.
I might as well.
Because it's always going to stick with you.
Absolutely. Because I just feel like we always have free will. We have the choice to decide if we're going to cheat or, whatever decision we're going to make. So I feel like if I'm, being faithful and curbing and all that stuff, you should too. It should be reciprocal. So for me, that's a deal breaker. I don't want to work it out. But I mean,
even with everything.
Cheated, what if he cheated, but it was because of a concern or something he had with you?
But any man that I date knows that it's an open forum with me. It's an open door. I mean, if it's some people. I'm not the partner where I'm so closed. I'm open to criticism and I'm open to grow and be better. In fact, my dude could tell you, hey, how can I love? I'm going to ask you, baby, how can I love you better? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always keep that open forum. I mean, that open dialogue with him because I just feel like, communication should always be at the forefront. So,
And see, I think that's the biggest problem in why people do cheat.
Why is that?
Well, they don't want to be open and voice their concerns. Whether they feel right or wrong. They just want to just go out and just do something. And then when shit hits the fan, then they look silly.
Absolutely.
To say the least. But it's very rare for people to be open. To whatever issue that they have, and just be open and say, listen, I wish you would do this better, or in the bed, I wish you would do this.
Absolutely.
In the real world, that's what happens. A lot of people don't want to, a lot of people are afraid to speak up and talk about those kind of things where, if you got a problem with your mate and this person is hurting you, whether it be verbally, mentally, physically, whatever it is. A lot of people don't feel like voicing those concerns. They just act out. And, do you think that that's a prime reason, people cheat is because they just can't figure out how to communicate with the other person?
I think that's part of it, and I think sometimes people, it's a matter of maturity. It's a matter of maybe childhood. It could be a matter of just them not getting their right. Of a couple that's going through a divorce now, beautiful couple, but I mean, his situation, I think they got married too young. You know, he really didn't get a
I
chance
believe that that's possible.
Absolutely. So there's many reasons why people cheat. I don't think it's a good reason to cheat because I just feel like you always have that option to leave. You know, even though you might have those soul ties or, convenient or whatever, you may really love that person, but for me, it's just no excuse for cheating to me. You always have that option to leave. You always can say, you know what, hey, I love you, but I'm feeling, hella
But
lustful.
sometimes it's easier for people to do what they do and then get back to the crib.
Easier. So when you say there's no reason or no option to cheat, are you into your man 100% over everything else that you do?
I always have tunnel vision when I am in a relationship, and that stems.
I think women have women. It's easier for women to have that. For men, it takes us longer, but we get there.
But I'm asking that question because first of all, people think cheat and they think, okay, I'm gonna cheat with another person. But there's different forms of cheating.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked that question because some people can cheat at the casino.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That.
Some people can cheat at the casino with the slot machine.
Well,
you talking about you
see,
financial cheating.
Well, no, I'm just saying you into something else more than you are your mate, so you kind of cheating. I've been down this road, so
okay.
I understand.
You can cheat with
That's I'm just asking them questions.
With social media, it's a lot of different ways to cheat.
So it's okay. So everybody got their versions of what cheating is.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's based on per person because to me, when I think of somebody cheating, I'm thinking like it could be texting, it could be verbal, it could be sharing how you feel with somebody that you usually share with your partner. But I can't see like at the casino. I can't.
Personally, that's not one of my boundaries. I'm like, I feel like we all have businesses or we all have a vice. Like, mine could be retail therapy. Like, so it could be excessive. You know what I mean? I don't too much trip off of that. The things that I consider cheating are stuff that you're doing behind my back that you wouldn't do in front of my face. As far as, you know.
Communication aspect of any relationship.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just think that people just have to just be comfortable. I mean, I think a lot of people aren't comfortable like their mate enough to like voice their, their views or their,
You think that's an insecurity on that person?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, or a person could just have a gambling problem coming into it. You know what I mean? Now people do resort to things to, I can't be with this person or whatever, so I'm gonna go to the club. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna go to.
Yeah, because they're not comfortable like voicing their views.
Absolutely.
So I got a question. Are you married, single, dating?
I'm not married.
All right. So if you were married, you have this union, and there's infidelity from one of the two. Do you stay or do you go? Because
he took the vows.
Yeah, but I know you said there's no.
All I know are just For me, that's a deal breaker because sex to me is such a spiritual thing. So for my husband. It would take a lot for me to stay. And then I would just have to holler at the creator, like, you know what? I know I said better for worse, but if it's something that I truly couldn't get over and didn't want to work out, it's just it's just a deal breaker. That's just something within me. Now, I do know married couples that stuck it out. You know what I mean? And they're fine, but I've never been married, so it's really hard for me to speak on that. But as far as a relationship, you cheat on me, I'm out. Like, I I don't want to bounce back from it. I'm cool.
Right. You've been real quiet over there. You need to say something.
Let's go,
You need to
Raquel.
say
Let's go,
something.
Raquel.
See, the quiet ones, you got to watch them. You know what I'm saying?
We could go to the viewers. Do you want to answer a
Yeah, let's
a
answer
question?
the question. Answer the question.
So she gonna answer a
No,
viewer's question.
listen, it's a simple question. I mean, you might have some wisdom in on this one.
I doubt it.
It
But
says,
okay.
How can a person fully get over infidelity? That is a question that one of our viewers had.
Well, this one is going to be hard for me to answer because personally, I don't think I would be able to get over it. I feel like it's just over after that because I can forgive you, but I won't forget. So I don't think it'll ever be the same. So I think it's just best we go our separate ways. So I don't think I'm a good one to answer that one.
So
Women are good to just cut that thing off.
Man, I don't believe, man.
I mean-
I'm calling bullshit.
But
Because a lot, man, because y'all emotionally attached. Not saying you can't do it, but y'all be emotionally attached in the relationship, and it's easy to say, "Oh, I'll just cut it off and go the other way," and you just sit up on the couch with all the ice cream for like 3-4
Now, I'm gonna go
months.
work
You know what I'm
out.
saying?
Look, now, I'm gonna go work out and be better. So when I see that ex again, be like, dang, Lisa, you know.
okay, Lisa. Okay.
I ain't gonna sit there,
Okay.
bonbons. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I've probably gained a little 5 pounds being in a relationship anyway. I need to go and probably drop it.
Wow.
So-
But if a woman is trying to get over it because she really loves her
Right.
man,
Absolutely.
like,
What would your woman
Yeah.
to woman advice be?
yeah,
And I've actually given this advice before. I mean, I would say seek out counseling. And I would
Okay.
say, I mean, it's a day by day
does
process.
counseling work?
You know, actually, I'm not even gonna plug them. But
If you open to it.
Yeah, both people have to be open.
You got to
to
be
it.
open to it.
You know, both people have to be open to it. Counseling can help. You know, and it depends on if you want to go to your church, if you want to seek out a counselor. Like, you know, I have couple people in my group that actually are licensed therapists, and I have referred people to them. And you know, one couple actually got back to me. They actually ended up getting married because they were in that stage where they were like, "Oh, yo, man, I ain't gonna do this. I don't even want to do this anymore." So, you know, I referred the couple to this gentleman, and now they're married. So, you know, anyway, so back to your question, I would say counseling. I would say
Counseling works if you, like Duke said, if you want it to work.
Yeah, man, you
if
gotta be open
to.
You gotta be open when you go,
You know what I'm
and you
saying?
gotta be open to.
That's a crazy mindset to go into when you find out somebody did that to you, though.
But you gotta be
Like,
open with, be open to corrective criticism about yourself.
absolutely.
I
so
learned
it might have
something
been
in-
something. It
I
might have
learned-
been the other person's fault.
It could be, but I learned somebody usually is something that you do.
yeah.
I see that.
You know what I mean? And so I was for a minute. I was like, "What? That don't even sound right." And then I thought about it. So, you know, I went to counseling when I've been married, so I can speak on it from my experience. I was one of them people like, man, I ain't going to counseling. I don't need to be counseled. I know me. You know what I'm saying? But I went anyway out of the relationship, out of respect. And ironically, when I went, the counselor was like, you know, we'll talk to you about some things, but I need to talk to your spouse about some things. And, you know, it was really on that person's side because they couldn't get over something else from their past, but they put me in that situation from their past. You know what I mean? So I was open to it. I mean, counseling's always open. If I can grow and get better, I took a lot of stuff out of the counseling. You know what I mean? Where I was like, I'm just gonna be a better person
Absolutely.
just from talking to another individual. If I'm gonna pay for this and my insurance gonna pay for it, what can I get out of this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I mean, counseling's cool, but you
People
just
should
gotta
at
be
least
open.
give it a shot.
You gotta be
right?
open to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now you can waste a whole bunch of damn money though, straight
Yeah.
up.
Right.
It
Hey,
costs
boy, I
money.
blew it.
What's the average on that? How much it costs for people to get counseling?
Too much.
It just really depends. I mean,
Everybody's
if,
different.
If they go through their church, and I just know this personally because when I used to belong to a church, like they would just ask for a love gift. You know what I mean? So it just really,
Okay.
it really truly depends on the counselor.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay. All right. If hey people out there, if you got somebody that cheated on you or you cheated on somebody, go to counseling. Give it a shot. Be open to it. Okay. Be open to and that includes sexting and financial infidelity, all that good stuff.
I can't.
All right.
Sexting.
Let's have conversations with me over my lifetime, not anytime recently,
Like the way he
about
wrote it.
them being with guys who talk all this stuff. They gonna bang you back out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna
Please don't brag.
let me get a hold to you. You know what I'm saying? And
I'll
then,
work you like a part-time job.
and then you get in,
Lord.
and then they get to the point where they done worked you up and you ready, and then they drop the ball.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all remember that scene on Waiting to Exhale, man, with the dude was with Whitney Houston,
Oh, Lord. Oh,
and he came in like 20
Boy.
seconds.
Boy,
Oh man, that scene was hilarious.
that was pretty hilarious.
He was like, "Baby, I'm on my way," and she was like,
Boy.
"Girl,
Pat is the genius.
he's a
of bringing
movie
some-
buff, boy. He's a movie buff, man.
man."
Hey, you gotta have that though, man. You gotta have a movie buff.
She was like,
You got
"Girl."
to. You got to.
gotta have a movie buff.
But you know these people. I mean, women do it too.
Yeah,
You know,
a
there's
lot of
women
people-
out there that brag and say, "Man, I can suck the
Oh, man.
skin off
Dang.
a pear," and then they cut you up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've
You know what I'm saying?
listen, man. I've heard I can suck the gum through a blow pop. I'm like, God,
Oh.
man.
That's pretty rare.
Like, yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm sorry.
The gum through a
I know.
blow pop.
Yes.
That's too hard. I don't know.
What?
That's scary.
I mean,
That's
would you
scary.
want
Hey,
that?
that's crucial.
Like,
boy.
You know what I'm
Suck the
saying?
gum through a blow
Sometimes
pop, dude.
Hey, boy.
Sometimes it don't add up. I'm a
right
visual mental person too, so I'm thinking about it as it is. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'm printing that.
So the bigger question is this
Okay.
dudes?
Bet you
It's
it's
dudes out there that can't hold their weight. You know, Do you when you find out, do you stick it out or do you find a way to get out of it? What's the game plan for women?
I think I'm not gonna speak for all women, for some women. I think that there has to be.
Don't
others-
sugarcoat it, Lisa.
Look,
Come on,
there
don't
has to
sugarcoat
be-
it.
Bring it, Lisa.
This
Bring
dude,
it.
Look,
this
hold
dude's
on,
out here
hold
really
on.
listening. Like
Bring it.
The numbers done jumped up since I said something about it.
What the hair
I
about?
already-
Bring
I
it.
already see it. I think that it has to be something else there because I think many of us can attest that we've had those moments where it was like, what in the entire hell, and you wanted to take your sex back, like for real? You know what I'm saying? I want to take my sex back. That was a waste of my time. But but it has to be something more there, and
I'm laughing at comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Comments, man.
One of our viewers said, "It don't matter, just don't bite it."
Oh,
So I ain't trying to interrupt your thought process or whatever, but
No,
that's just
but-
one of
but,
our
I mean-
comments.
I guess then comes the issue of creativity. Like, I mean, so why is it whack? Why, what can we do to make this better? I mean, is it a size thing? Is it a performance thing? You have to really delve into, but both people have to really be open to assess if they can make it better.
Right.
Because sometimes it's just no bounce back. It's like, yo, you whack. We ain't compatible. We have no spiritual compatibility. We have no mental compatibility. So it's just not going to work. But I guess that would all kind of boil down to what you, the foundation of your relationship. Because I can truly say my bad experience, the foundation wasn't strong, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people get to know each other backwards. It's just like you jump into bed like, oh, okay, so, dang, you don't have any other anything solid to go off of. So it's just, it's just per relationship. You got to figure out, is this a thing where we can work it out? Why is sex whack? Communicate about it or whatever. So that's my viewpoint.
Okay, Raquel. I
Yeah,
mean,
Raquel.
look,
What's happening?
we got to call your name for you to say something because you just gonna
Let's go,
sit back in the
Raquel.
cut. What's going on?
I think I would say if other aspects of the relationship are great, I don't think it's a deal breaker. I think that's
Okay.
something that can be worked on
That's a
with
good point.
communication.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good point.
That's real
She
politically
got the
correct.
psychologist.
That's real politically correct.
Psychologist.
Like you see how she put that together, real politically correct. Like,
real short
give us
and
the
quick.
real answer.
You like to get in and get out.
This is
don't
what
you?
people don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? That was real politically correct. I really think it could work.
The communication.
If
is
communication-
That was the
is there.
truth, though. That's my opinion.
That's your opinion. That's your truth. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
And another thing, I think it's important, like, I wish that more people would, like, have a foundation as friends first. Because I think in a lot of what I've seen with
I
people
agree.
have divulged in me, like, through conversation, it's just like people don't become friends first.
Right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Some people should stay friends.
Absolutely. Or they should stay liking each other's pictures on Facebook.
Right.
Let's just keep it
Right.
real because
Yeah.
we know a lot of people are hooking up through social media as well. But I just think, foundation as friends is really important, and to really get to know that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't mean to bring Steve Harvey up, but I think the brother had a
90
good
days.
point. The
Here we
90
go to
days,
that,
because that really allows you.
But what
to
if you
get-
wait 90
90
days
days?
Fuck
and
out
it's
of here
whack?
and it's whack, man.
See, I'm
90
so
selling
you know
books,
what?
man.
You know what? My other self
90 days. No, don't
told
tell
me
me.
not to even say Steve
No,
Harvey.
you supposed to say that because you're supposed to figure that out, man. 90 days. But I will tell you this, man. It makes you like a person more with those 90 days.
Yeah, that does.
But
It
if
does.
it's whack in 90 days, you like, man, that
Then,
shit's out the window, man.
Yeah,
I
you
think it
just
just boils down to if you just got a connection with that person, if you're twin flames, soulmates, or whatever. I think it just boils down to a lot. I mean, I know of a couple, seriously, I won't call them out, but they met at a club, slept together that first night. Hey, it's 26 years later, and they're
Yeah,
still
it
married.
happens.
So, it's per couple, but that's not everybody.
They must have been Leos. See, only
Actually,
only Leos men would do
Actually,
that.
it's an Aquarius
Okay.
and a Virgo.
Oh, hey, well,
Aquarius in the building.
Aquarius,
I just want to throw
it's
that
the
out
best
there.
damn sign in the world.
Yes, sir.
Leo.
Hello,
Leo.
What's
boy.
going on, Aquarius
Hello.
out there? This is our season.
January
What's
29th.
happening?
Oh my God. Leo.
Leo.
I mean, man, let's get this fella's perspective because I mean we've been letting y'all, tell it, y'all version. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to women cheating, I mean it's cutthroat. I mean guys don't look. This is the gray area, right? We don't have a gray area when it comes to relationships. Because the dude
We
would
black
just,
and white.
Black and white.
Exactly.
Realize that. I mean, there's some substance here, and I'm gonna
Very
explain
simple.
it to y'all. See, women like to get into relationships with guys, and maybe like after a week or two, y'all like, I'm kind of feeling this dude. I could see something. Dudes, we wait 3 years, literally. I mean, and it's natural for us to have. We have like outstanding patience when it comes to women. Because we don't go into it thinking that this is gonna be the one right away. But y'all go into it, you're like, this might be the one. Let me tell my mama, let me tell my grandma, let me tell my daddy.
Girl, I done met this
You know what I'm
dude,
saying?
And
We
told
at the
me
crib
he
like, man, I wish this girl stop bugging me, man. She texts me like 4 times, man. Come
Get
on.
off my line.
You know what I'm saying?
real.
But it doesn't. We don't react fast, and I think that's a unique chemistry to have. So like this 90-day thing, we can wait 90 days.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of dudes that be like, okay, you want 90 days, okay, let me mark my calendar. Month 1, month 2, month 3, let me bang it out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to bang it out.
I don't think that a person should say, "Oh, I'm gonna make you wait 90 days." You know what I mean? Like,
They should just do it.
I mean,
But a dude,
Yeah, you can figure that shit out after a
a
month.
week, a dude know he might be on that 90 day. You know what I'm saying? He might be on that 60 to 90.
You already know. After 30, you know, man. All right, she playing the waiting game. Come on, let's cut the bullshit. Like
After 30 days?
Yeah, you know she's.
Yeah,
Come
after
on,
30,
man.
after 30,
After
you ain't look,
30
you
days,
ain't-
she gonna be. Man, you like, man. She making me wait.
I mean,
That's
listen, look,
Come
I
on.
think, I
Gray
mean, me,
area, man.
listen, personally, man, I think it depends on the conversations that you've
You
had
right.
with
It
her.
depends. 30 days. You
I
already
mean,
know.
I could pick up the vibe after a few days. Okay, yeah, man, she's gonna be trying.
Oh, you saying it don't take 30 days to find out?
No, it just depends on the conversation.
No, I agree.
Like, if
Yeah.
I go out, man, with a woman and she says, hey, I'm deep in the church, I'm this, that, and the third, and then I see it through her actions. And I've been the type, I've never really tripped on it. I mean, I would fall
Mr.
back.
Rogers over here.
Bill.
Mr. Rogers.
It's a Mr. Rogers, okay.
Nah, this is my man. Pat has outstanding patience. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
be
I've been
like-
knowing this dude for a long time, and it would be girls trying to get with him, and he would be having them on the 180-day
Oh.
wait.
Ain't nothing
Waiting
wrong with
list.
that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It ain't
man.
nothing wrong
'Cause
with
you
it.
gotta realize,
you know what I'm saying? But he
you
has
gotta realize
outstanding patience.
a man got what she want too. I've always said that, man.
Listen.
If she could play the waiting game, I could
Yeah.
play the damn waiting game.
Fellas, put value on your one. You know what your one is.
Absolutely.
Put value on it.
Absolutely, but I'm not waiting past 60 days. I'm
but
sorry.
can I ask you a question though? And this is something that I've proposed.
I'm just saying. If ain't nothing cracking in 60
I have,
days,
though.
we ain't got nothing to talk about.
I have.
I mean, I have
yeah.
too.
You
I've
did
waited
that before
way
60
longer.
days?
No.
Wait.
No. I mean, I waited longer.
Mm-hmm.
You waited.
I waited.
Longer, yeah, way
I was
longer.
hot, boy. My homeboy was the one who pointed it out to me, though.
What?
He was like, "Yo, Duke, you like her?" I was like, "Nigga, I'm good." He's like, "Nah, man, you like her,"
yeah.
because he was like, "Man, you ain't touched her yet." I was
Yeah.
like, "What you talking about, man?" And I got to thinking, I was like, "Yo," then we got
Yeah, let me tell you that if a
So-
dude is
so-
willing to wait, have that outstanding patience and not do nothing, he's definitely respecting you on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So don't disregard that. But what's up with these women that find these good dudes and they don't really have an edge to them, but they don't get no play? It's dudes that'll wait a whole year to be with you.
They probably just desperate or something.
He opening doors. You know what I'm saying? He's like the king of chivalry.
Chivalry's not dead, but
You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't give him no play. Explain that.
You know what? This is what I will say. Because I think sometimes it's an issue of timing. It's an issue of where a person is, because I know of a couple that were friends for many years. And, then finally it clicked, and then they started a relationship. And to my knowledge now, they're cool, So sometimes it's a timing thing. Sometimes, it's just not meant to be at that moment. But I have seen where, dude, is this good dude? And,
But it'd be the same women that be like crying they single all the time. But the dude that's like the good dude,
Yeah, the
he
good
get
dude,
no
y'all don't
play.
want him.
they not ready.
Y'all don't want him.
They might
Man,
not
y'all
be
don't
ready.
want him.
Not
Oh
ready.
my God.
It just depends.
Listen.
Look. How many times do people lie and say they want something, but then they not really ready for it?
plenty.
Plenty.
Women want the opposite.
I
I'm sorry.
personally,
Women want the opposite. And trust me, I mean,
Women want to get hit upside the head one time to say, okay, that's the
I've
one
been
right
through
there.
that. I've been through that, and then I've heard, man, if I had to do it all over, Pat, I would. Nah, man, it's too late. I mean, I don't even look at you in the same way now. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. I mean, it's a wrap.
Hey man, 90 days.
You
I'm
still
just
ain't
reading
90
the
days.
comments. No, I'm reading the
Listen, man,
comments. I'm reading the comments of
poor-
our guests. We got one. What do you men want from your woman, and you women want from your man in order to feel happy and
Let's
fulfilled
answer
in
the
a
man one
relationship?
first. Let's answer the man one first. Do
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yeah, you go
What does
first.
a man
Duke.
want from a woman? A man
Yeah.
usually wants a good relationship, a friendship.
Yeah.
He wants somebody to be there for him. Honestly, and this is counseling, my brother. And, no, you learn
Simple.
different
yeah.
things, man.
Yeah.
Most men usually date a woman that is compared, like we talked about in some of our other podcasts, to their mom,
Yeah.
because that's what they know
No,
as
absolutely.
a woman.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily he wants a woman like I want somebody to look like my mom.
Right,
whatever.
right. But those
most
values
men they
and-
look for those values,
Right,
those
right.
nurturing, those things like that. A man wants a good woman that to be there for him.
Right.
Spiritually, physically, mentally. They want a compatibility partner to be there for them. And then at the end of the day, the best thing that me personally is friendship. If you can't be friends, it's gonna be hard to jump through all those other hoops and hurdles. You know what I mean?
For
You
sure.
think about
For
you
sure.
think about women and their best friend. They've been best friends. I'm not saying that they're gay or anything, but you think about a woman and their best friend. They've been best friends for like 20 years because they can talk to each other about anything.
Mm-hmm.
You think about your boys who you best friends with. You and your boy then went through everything together, but y'all best friends because y'all listen to each other and talk about anything. So, in order to be best friends, most people's best friend is somebody who listens to them.
Absolutely.
It's not
Yeah.
that friend that always tells you something. It's somebody that listens to them.
Right.
If they take the time, okay, I'm listening to this person, hear what they got to say, and then, go on from there. So that's a little insight. You know what I mean? I ain't no relationship guru or nothing, but.
P. Wills.
What's up?
What do men want from women?
Oh man, to me is basically what he just said. I mean, you want someone, man, that has your back. She's vocal, but she's more understanding. If you have a dream and you're trying to go for something, she's very supportive. She's not trying to discourage you. She's actually trying to help you and give you, ideas. And men like, simple things. For a woman to cook and clean.
And she got to be all right in that bed, man. I left that out, man.
Yeah.
She got to be nice behind them doors. You know what I'm
You got to
saying?
be out in the bed I mean,
politically correct over here.
we need to go over the
Yeah,
list.
but you know, but the whole bedroom thing, man. I want to touch on what she said earlier, like how you said that you don't want to be with someone that went out and exchanged souls
Absolutely.
and then bring it home. That's what I think would help the sex more if the foundation is more from like a spiritual level. Because you know, if you love her and she loves you, y'all could always get better in the bedroom, man. But because if that foundation is based on the right thing, then you really won't even trip on that.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Good point, Pat.
Absolutely.
You going into preaching soon?
Y'all being modest over here, man.
guy
Let me
right
tell
here.
y'all what men really
Proud of you,
want.
son.
Can I tell y'all what men really want?
What they really want,
What
right?
y'all want?
They want the pudding,
What
okay?
What
They want
was
the
it
pudding.
DMX or Cisco? What these bitches want from
They want they want the pudding, okay? But men are backwards. Let me tell y'all that. We're backwards because a man can have sex on the first or 90th day, and if there's a connection or a chemistry with you, that will last forever. You know what I'm saying? Like we were saying earlier, there's no gray area for men when it comes to relationships. We're black and white. Some women that we see, we visualize, we're just like, I'm gonna wait around on this and see her in different lights. And then there's people that you've been watching that you wanna take there because you've been watching already. See, men, we're like lions. You know what I'm saying? Out in the wild,
Leo.
we do watch. We watch. You know what I'm saying? We watch your moves. We watch how you working. We watch who you talking to. The last thing a man want is to date somebody he know one of his boys was dating.
Absolutely.
So that's if you trying to date a dude and you know that he knows these guys and these guys know him, he might just be trying to hit it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying, if they know you was with somebody, that that's awkward because we may be going to play ball with this dude next week, or we may be going to do a show with him next week, and then we got to think about, damn, this nigga used to be with my girl. You know what I'm saying? So we look for different things when it comes to women, and we will wait a while. I mean, that doesn't mean that a man won't eventually be with a woman that was with one of his guys, but he just has to see her in a different light. Like, is she really still messing with this dude? How long was it since they talked? It's a lot of stuff that come into that equation. You know what I'm saying? It's not thrown completely out the door, but at first thought, you're like, nah, that's my man's girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let this simmer. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let this simmer for a little bit, make sure that connection broke. And then if they got kids, it's that, you know, it's so
wild.
many different things that's wrapped into that. So, but again, man, we look for different things in a woman. Obviously, all the things they said, like support. We just want y'all to stick around. This is another one that I think women miss big time. When a man has a vision, when he has a goal or he has something, he tells you, he like, baby, I don't care if it's selling hot dogs in space. I'm just going to use that as an example. He might have a great ass idea on how he can sell hot dogs in space. You know what I'm saying? Because
She's not
look,
gonna
he
stay
didn't
with your
look.
ass, right?
She's like,
I just want to let you know, sex good or not. Her ass is out.
Look, he
she's
didn't
like,
look.
girl, this nigga, like, girl, this dude to sky's the limit to a whole nother
Hey,
level.
look, he done did the research.
Talk about selling hot dogs with no
He done
gravity.
did the research. He figured out how to sell hot dogs on the moon, okay? And if he sit down with you and explain to you, like, look, baby, I got it. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do. This is going to make us rich right here. We're going to get to the next level with this right here. Don't look at him like he crazy. Don't turn that down. Act like you like it. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, baby, just keep research. Look. No.
Well, I mean, you gotta be
I'm
real
serious.
too.
No, bro, don't act like you like it. No, because let me
But
know.
look.
You know what, baby?
But look,
I don't like that because you know Fee gonna be talking crazy.
You know, just let me know, man. You know what I'm saying?
Fee be always talking
hey.
crazy. No, I don't know about that, honey. Oh, I mean, yeah, she be talking crazy.
I mean, but see, when you have, I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends because you don't know if you got two betas, you got two alphas, you got an alpha and a beta. Everybody's different. Okay, so if you got a man,
question I got.
if you got a man, you know what I'm saying, and he has some kind of goal, that's better than not having no goal, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
this dude might sound crazy, but then you want to get with the dude that don't got no goals, but he got the spinners. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. I mean, is that realistic? Yes. That he could go buy rims and he's flexing on his whip and his. But is it realistic for a future? Is it sustaining financially for the future? You know what I'm saying? You got to look at those kind of things. Like, at least he has something that sparks an idea for wanting to be something.
Yeah.
So you may be able to take his idea to be like, baby, okay, what about selling them down the street? We ain't got to sell them in space. That's a long term, You know what I'm saying? That's what women are good for. See, that's the point I was getting to. You know what I'm saying? Is that y'all help make that vision possible. Don't just shun it. Like, it may sound like the stupidest damn idea you ever heard in your life, but he's telling you for a reason. He's telling you so that you can help him mold it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And
there it is.
I definitely believe in that. Like, if I like to call, my significant other my twin flame.
Right.
So if my twin flame came to me like, man, baby,
your twin flame?
Twin flame.
That's
I'm
dope.
gonna break that down.
Hey, that is dope. Hey, break that down. That's dope.
All right. Whether it's soulmate and twin flame, don't let me forget my point. Okay?
Gotcha.
But as far as like if my twin flame came to me and was like, yo, baby, I want to start, a barbershop on Times Square or whatever, right? I'd be like, okay, I'm 4 degrees in and I have experience. I'm gonna say, okay, that's what's up. How can I help you? Or let's research this. Or let's do a business plan. Because sometimes taking those steps, he might be like, well, damn, this ain't a good idea after all. You know what I mean?
Right.
What I'm going to do,
I
am going to support that man. Because that's what I grew up with. That's the example I had with my mother and father.
Right.
So, that's how it flows and comes easily for me. So I'm never going to discourage my man. I'm like, oh, baby, that's what's up. You want to sell sandwiches on Mars? That's what's up. Well, let's look at, how we can make that possible. Let's do the research. That's
all it is.
Whatever,
you know what I'm saying? He might start figuring out through the business plan, like, okay, it might take me a little bit longer to get this space.
Well, he just didn't tell his ass in the beginning, like, it ain't no gravity up there. So this shit ain't gonna work. Why you just
Because some people can't handle that. If you shut down too many ideas from somebody,
if the friendship real, then if you can't handle it,
but everybody can't take it like that.
I'm just asking.
And that's a good point.
Is the friendship real? Like, let's just be real. We supposed to be best friends. Fire flame? What?
Twin flame.
Twin flames? Did you be able to tell his ass that ain't hot?
Well, this is the thing. What I don't want to do is discourage those ideas. You know what I mean? So that's why, I would present it from the standpoint of, well, let's do the research on this. Or let's put the business plan.
Why is that whack, dude?
Bullshit.
Why is that bullshit?
But you know what? Can I say
that's a great
idea. And you already know.
Okay.
Hey, this ain't gonna work.
He might have got the statistics from NASA, man.
We wasting time.
But isn't a stupid idea perception? I mean, who thought that little stickers, people would be paying money for little stickers?
Nobody said a stupid idea, but I'm saying,
who thought that we would be buying water when we get out the faucet?
I got you.
Exactly.
So who am I to say that it's a stupid idea? You know what I mean? Now, if
Help
you're
them
talking about
mold it.
pimping hoes, my twin flame like, yo, baby,
I'm
gonna pimp some hoes.
That's
I'm
a realistic profit.
That's stupid.
I mean, the whole point I think she's trying to make is like you just support your man through.
So supporting him.
No,
she just said she ain't gonna support him when he said
no.
But see, I want to ask you something too.
Okay. I'm gonna support a man if it's for his highest good. I'm gonna support it. Him pimping hoes is not for the higher good of himself. Not for future seeds, not for the community, not from a spiritual aspect. So if it's not for the highest good, then F it. I'm not gonna support it. But if it's like, hey baby, I want to sell water on the corner and I want to turn the water blue, well okay, as long as the water turning blue ain't gonna hurt mankind or whatever, then I'm fine with that.
Okay, I want to ask you something. Do you think that a man can dream too much?
I think dreaming too much without action.
Okay.
I think action.
That's a good way to
put
say
the action behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're saying, "Oh, well, I want to do this. I want to do this." Okay, well, let's put action behind it.
Gotcha.
I think you should always dream and be thinking of stuff because to this day, even though I feel like relationship soup is very established, I'm always thinking, okay, how can I take this to the next
Make
level?
it better.
Absolutely.
Right.
How can I, improve it? How can we help people more?
Right.
So, I mean, I definitely, I would want my twin flame to dream. I want him to continue to dream. It's just,
absolutely.
Let's put some action behind it.
And men and women are completely different creatures. I think this is something that I feel like happens in relationships a lot because you have alpha and betas, right? If you get two alphas or two betas, let me just explain for people the difference. an alpha is somebody that's more that predominantly is the man role, but there are some women that take on that role. Like, and these women are, the director of sales at a company. They're the CEOs. They have an intensity about them that makes them very independent. And it's unfortunate that, the 90s up until now has created a slew of independent women. This and that, we're not even going to dig deep into that. That has a lot to do with the system.
Janet Jackson started
the
all of
system
that.
itself.
Control.
But
Janet Jackson
here
started
we
all of
are
that.
in 2017, and there's a lot of independent women that don't need no ninjas, and they self-prominent. It's a lot of alphas.
And they
That's
single.
not a bad, yeah, and they single.
There it is.
But, and that's not a that's bringing a lot of different problems to relationships, because when they do find somebody, they're also, and that men are naturally alphas anyway.
Most men.
Most men. Let's just most men, because there's some dudes out there. I'm not even gonna go into that, but that's their prerogative. But it's in a relationship, somebody has to be one or the other. You know what I'm saying? And if there are two, y'all have to establish who y'all are and try and work through the kinks, because you're going to run into both sides. I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I mean, well, I would say, me personally, I would want a woman that's an alpha, because she's going.
You would play the beta role?
No.
He wants a go-getter.
Yeah, thank you. I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants somebody.
Right,
So I need someone, man, to like match that.
Right.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
intensity of wanting that drive to do something.
Because not only will I look at her and be like, damn, like she's handling her business, she's going to challenge you.
He's gonna push you a little bit.
And then you're just going, both of y'all are just going to keep doing this, just going up, just moving.
Right.
It's harder to be with someone if one is going and then one back here is just lagging. Then you got to always go back and pull that person. So now, even though you are making progress, you still got to go backwards and pull this person up where you are, and then you go again. You got to pull them up again.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it depends, but that's where the patience, comes in.
I think
See what I'm saying?
look. I think the alpha is biblical. Alpha and beta is biblical. If you look at the Bible and read it, the woman is submissive, the man is the alpha. It doesn't say that, but it doesn't say alpha and beta, but it does describe that in the Bible. So to me, I'm with you. I'm not against having an alpha, because I know that my drive and leadership, I would want somebody to be the same way, but I also understand that could become a headache.
Well, if the person doesn't know their role,
Exactly.
And
if someone doesn't know their role as like a woman, most women don't. Who are alphas? No. Most women who are alphas, it's hard for them to. It's hard for them to release some of that control, because they've been doing it themselves so long. So when you get a dude, he almost has to show you. So really, it's about show and prove. So dudes, if it's dudes out there that are alphas and they get with a woman who's an alpha, it's basically all about showing and proving, showing yourself over time, because she's not gonna get that up right away. It's gonna take some time to have her release some of that control. And for betas, I feel like a beta's role is unique. I feel like a beta should be someone who is multi, like sometimes an alpha, sometimes a beta. I think the beta has a significant role, because if that alpha is not there, then she has to step up and become that alpha. When it needs to. I think some betas are too relaxed. I think some betas are so relaxed that they feel like they can't do nothing without that person, and you don't want someone like that, because they're going to collapse.
You gotta remember, the apple tree produces apples.
Explain that.
You're gonna be somewhat like your parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like she made a great statement earlier. She came from a 2-parent household,
yeah.
so
that
what she saw is that example is what she has instilled in her life and in her values. So, when you get, I had a friend to tell me, he was like, Duke, he was like, have you seen your girl's mother? This was, dating. And he was like, man, you are getting ready to get involved with her. And I was like, man, you tripping. He was like, man, most women are like their mother, because that's what they know.
Right.
That's what they come from. So, that's just my perspective on that, because it's just what we know. It's a learned behavior. You know what I mean? And men, you know, if they are around their dad and know their dad, they're usually gonna tend to be somewhat like that. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, and you know, to touch on that, the alpha male and alpha female. I want to go to a question, man, that was posed by one
Okay.
of our viewers. How is an alpha woman submissive?
How is an alpha woman submissive?
I mean, I could try to answer that. Unless Lisa,
I can answer it. Go ahead.
No,
Have
I mean,
at it.
I personally, I think that an alpha woman can be submissive by understanding her role, because she's an alpha woman. Like, she knows that there's a certain line that she cannot cross when she's dealing with her man. You know, she's not trying to be him, and he's not trying to be her, because typically alphas are more organized and more more structured in relationships. So I mean, I just think
Almost
that,
too structured.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's sometimes the business and the business mind,
Exactly.
you know, crosses over into the relationship.
So that's what, you know, I would say that she would know her role, so that wouldn't even be an issue.
But it's hard for alpha women to do that.
It depends. I mean, you know, my lady, she's an alpha woman all day long. Like
But how long did it take y'all to establish what was what?
Oh man, listen. Like I said, patience. Like, you know, and you know, patience is key. You know, if you really want to work at something, it comes a point where two people have to sit down. Well, first you have to look in the mirror and say, "Damn, like, am I doing something wrong?" And then if the other person is willing to do that, then it also helps. Then you sit down and you say, "Look, how can we make this work?" And then it's like, "Okay, this is what I'm gonna do as a man," and she's like, "This is what I'm gonna do as a woman." And you just blend together. I'm not trying to be you. You're not trying to be me. But I know my woman is on it. Like, she takes care of the house. She takes care of, you know what I'm saying, of our sons. Like she's on it.
Right.
And she is very supportive of everything that I do. So
one of the viewers kind of said what you said. If an
Yeah,
alpha
yeah.
man is truly on his square and an alpha male, even the alpha female will recognize that.
Damon said that.
yeah.
Yeah, Damon,
That's
shout out.
true. That's
What
true.
about? I don't want to be switching lanes, but we're an hour in. What about interracial relationships, gay relationships, and women being submissive?
Women
Okay.
what-
As far as
I'm just saying, speak on it. I mean, the soup. You know, what's in the soup? What's in the soup
we get
about?
all that. The thing is, I think some women look at the word submissive as bad. Submissive does
Exactly.
not have to mean doormat. Like I said,
Thank you.
I grew
Thank
up.
you. Thank
I
you.
grew up in a very traditional household. My father, you know, he worked blue collar, General Motors, Allison. My mother was a housewife. Okay, and so she was a helpmeet. She was submissive, and you know, he was the lead. So submissiveness becomes a problem when you become a doormat, when you're abused, when you're
Exactly.
actually licking this dude's boots while he's kicking you. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So and you know, as far as what you mentioned earlier, I feel that in some aspects I can be an alpha female because I have 4 degrees. I'm very educated. I've worked.
You are.
You know, but
And there's nothing
but
wrong
the
with
thing
that.
is, like, you have to balance it.
Exactly.
So even if it's a meditation thing where you have to, you know, pray to balance your, you know, alpha and beta or whatever, it is possible to reach that balance. Me personally, I'm glad my twin flame takes the lead. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to follow, but you know that was a process for me as well. You know, to get to that point, I'm ready to follow a man, and I'm ready to support. I'm ready.
But he has to show and prove.
Absolutely. My father told me, don't follow no fool. Just because you're a woman and you're supposed to follow, don't follow no fool. So, you know, you have to, you know, show yourself, you know, and hey, if everything line
Show your
up,
worth. Yeah, exactly.
everything line up, hey, I'm following you. And you know, I'll be that helpmeet, you know, and that doesn't take anything away from who I am as a woman. I'm still going to have my business. I'm still going to be educated. I'm still going to make money. I'm still going to, you know, have those alpha characteristics that, you know, alpha women carry.
Right.
But it's balanced because I'm never going to make you feel inferior to me. I need you. I need a man. I'm not going to act like I don't. That's just, to me, it's just the natural order of things. But some of these women out here saying they don't need a man, I'm like,
Is it because is it because they do both? They feel like they do what a man do, so why they need a man? Is that why women get like that?
Because they mama raised them. You don't need no man. They do this for you, and then.
I think it's an inbred belief that becomes universal where they don't want to change it. You
Right.
know,
Or some women are that way so long that that's all they know. So
Absolutely.
they don't know nothing else. They just need to be taught.
absolutely.
Right. So it takes a unique man, like Damon said. If the man is being the alpha and leading that way, then an alpha woman who recognizes that will let him lead. But she has it has a process that she has to go through. Right. Raquel,
What's up, girl?
what's going on?
Man, she's over here.
What about
tweeting, boy?
we got somebody over here. They said, I wish they would elaborate. Wild card luck. They said I get tired of being a stereotypical type in a interracial relationship. Wild card, holler at us. Let us know what you mean.
Yeah,
Talk about
break
it.
that down.
Yeah,
Wild
yeah,
card.
break that down some
But in the
more.
meantime, one of our co-hosts, as Ray said, like, what's up? Like,
Raquel, what's going
how do
on?
you feel
You
about
too
it?
quiet
I
over
think we
here.
answered that question already. Let's move
Well,
on.
she's
No,
so
we're not letting you slide.
She's so
We're not letting you
politically correct.
slide. We are not letting you slide.
She's so politically correct. I think
She
we
is.
already answered that question. Let's move on to the
She's
next
giving
question,
a
please.
What you say,
definitive
next?
answer.
Next church finger next.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm giving.
What do y'all think about interracial relationships?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Black
what is
men
your
with
take on
white
that?
black men with white women, white men with black women.
This
Talk to us.
different period, right?
Period.
Right, just a different period. It was
I mean,
just happened.
personally, I just feel like, see, it's a spiritual thing for me, but I don't personally have a problem with it. I mean, my sister-in-law is Japanese. A lot of my cousins are Filipino and black. You know, I have a lot of, racial mixing in my family.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't get, look, date who you want.
She put the phone down.
I can put it down.
She about to tell it like it is.
Look at y'all.
Grab the air.
Look at y'all.
Look, let me holler at the ones out there that are doing it. My thing is this. That's fine, but don't knock me as a sister because you and your feelings about the clientele of women that you've dated. Or maybe your mama wasn't the best first teacher.
Right.
Maybe she wasn't the best example. Maybe that's one reason why you decide to date white women, Asian, whatever. But stop putting down every black woman or every woman in your race or every person just because you want to date outside your race. Do it. Love is love at the end of the day. But stop bashing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have a burden. As a black woman, I carry a burden every day. And personally, I get sick and tired. Oh, well, I don't date black women because X, Y, Z. I had this African dude in college tell me. I wasn't even checking for him. But he's like, you know what? You are a very nice black woman, but I would never date you.
Wow.
Why not? Yeah, that's
Wow.
But, because of the whole stereotypical, we have attitudes. We're this.
Yeah.
We're that. But for me, hey, that's cool, bro.
Why are people so threatened by the interracial, relationships? It seems like there's a certain group of people
That
in all races
Ignorant.
that are
Not
ignorant
exposed
that
to the
are
world.
very like against it. Like this is a problem for them.
Maybe because it feels like a betrayal to some. And then maybe because they're not looking at it from, look, I want who's for me.
Right.
If all you desire is white women, if all you desire is, whatever, that's cool. That's your spiritual path. That's your walk. You're
Right.
not for me. I don't want nobody that's not for me. But other people, they take it personally.
Do you think they're not confident in themselves, so they look at a situation like that, like why he with her,
They might.
Because to me, it's, and I've seen this. I've been in, on panels and was on another radio show a long time ago where that was a hot topic. Interracial relationships. We had a college professor get online, and he was just because he dated he went to college. Basically, his whole story was like an NBA player. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those NBA players, they cool in high school, then they get to college, they're surrounded by a lot of Caucasian women, then they end up marrying a Caucasian woman. So there was a lot of people who had a problem with that process. Like, you came from the hood, so how could you go to college and forget who you are and end up with somebody else? And I'm just like, man, you have to understand that
That's all
the
we
world
got.
is not. I mean, if you look at this country, right? If they could have went to any college, right? They could have went to any college. It probably would have still found a Caucasian woman. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just drawn to certain people, and this was an argument too. Are women of other races more submissive than African Americans? That's a big stereotype, right?
Absolutely.
They try to say that but it's really not like that. So they try and throw the men in a circuit of saying that they're just with those white women because they're more submissive. You know, what do you have to say about that?
Can I give one comment about
Yeah.
that?
Go ahead.
Ray?
Go ahead.
When you talk about I guess you can say the black kid that leaves and goes to college and,
Right.
and is
Right. That was
he
the
was
stereotype.
the stereotype.
Yeah.
He was dating all sisters before he got to college. Then when he
Right.
got to college, he started dating,
Right.
out of his race.
Right.
What people don't realize is when he went to that all black school, that was his only
That's
choice.
his
Right.
environment.
Right.
And then he moved to another environment. He went to a bigger pond with some other fish that he probably never saw.
Right.
And boy said, "Boy,
Right.
I like his fish."
Yeah.
It
Right.
ain't-
Yeah.
you
And
know,
it's different.
It's different.
Right.
And
Different, man.
you gotta think. Usually they leave home.
Right.
They in a whole nother environment, and this is all I got. You take a kid from, you take Indianapolis, for example. You take a kid from Indianapolis. He grew up around black and white. Depending on what school he went to, if he went to school in the inner city, and then he goes to University of, let's say,
Kansas.
Florida
Kansas.
State, Kansas,
Yeah.
Kansas, for example. Man, it ain't a whole bunch of black people at Kansas outside the basketball team and
Right.
the football team.
Right.
So it's gonna be a bunch of Caucasian women running around. The
Absolutely.
brother,
Becky
brother,
with the good hair.
yeah, brother
Becky
don't have
with
to
the
go
good
with
hair.
what he got.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Unless he just true to the sister he was with
Right.
before he left, which you know how that go.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Do you think
I just wanna speak
society?
on that.
Do you think that? And this is a question for everybody. Y'all think that society, because black men are naturally athletes and they end up normally going into a profession that has to do with sports. You know what I'm saying? A majority of our African American brothers are in sports. Do you feel like sometimes that's their only option going through that process, which is from high school going to college and then the college to the pros? They're surrounded by a lot of Caucasian, Asian, those type of people, and they never really get to touch the ground. Some people stick with it, like LeBron. LeBron's wife is African American.
Yeah, let's be
you know
honest,
what I'm saying?
Let's be honest. Where the hell is she going? You know what I mean? Boy, 90 million coming out of high
She
school.
wasn't having it.
I'm
She wasn't
gonna
having
let
it.
him do whatever he want to do. I'm gonna get this bread with him.
Right.
I mean, let's
Do you
just
think
be
that's her
honest.
position?
She don't have no choice
Yeah.
because you can be.
Could be.
I mean, you think about it. I mean,
Well, maybe she just has. He just believes in her because of her values. You
I
think
ain't
she
doubting
stands
that
just
at
for the
all.
money?
No, I would never say that.
Oh,
Hopefully,
okay.
their relationship. I not seen LeBron when he was in high school and he was
Yeah.
with her, so that's true. That's
Yeah.
cool for him to keep his
Right.
high school sweetheart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's just be, let's be honest. He's been tested with the temptation.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
sure
let's
on
not-
different platforms.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So let's not be naive to that. you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, for
So,
sure.
I mean, I just think a lot of kids, and this sounds cliche or whatever, weak-minded individuals because they get put in those situations. Like, I know for a fact, man, the colleges send girls to recruit those black kids to come to their school. I mean, you got an 18-year-old, he's sitting up there in the stands and he makes a dunk or whatever, but he looks over to the side and this is beautiful, whatever race she is, but she looks better than his girlfriend. Man, that boy gonna be looking at that school.
Wow,
And she
sure.
got his jersey on, his number, she hot. He like, dang, mom, I think I want to go to
Yeah.
Kansas State
He
now
never
instead of
had
Kansas.
that kind of attention.
You know what I'm saying?
before.
Then when he get there on campus and that girl do her thing, I mean, let's just be honest. You know
He
what
got
I'm saying?
game.
Listen, man, just be real because a lot of black men would date white women because they feel like black women are disgruntled, just always angry, always they
That's
don't.
the
Stereotype,
stereotype.
yeah.
That's the stereotype.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, hey, I can get with this white woman and she's going to do what I ask, and she's going to, give me what I want and she got bread. Like that's like those stereotypes and I've heard it all.
Absolutely.
Nah, I didn't
I
see
mean,
her at all. Yeah.
We
I got
talked-
homeboys like that are like that. Like they're like, oh man, I don't even talk to black women. But I think about what Common said. In this song, man, he said, "Black men walking with white girls on their arms, I be mad at them as if I know their moms. Told to go beyond the surface. A person is a person. When we lessen our women, our conditions seem to worsen."
Okay.
I mean that. That's kind of like related to what we're because some people, man, would say that like the black or like the black man and the black woman's relationship needs to get stronger, like it's broken.
Right.
I mean, I'm all for love, period. Like whoever makes you happy, that's who you should be with. But if you don't feel comfortable being with someone that isn't of the same color, man, as you, then don't force it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Black women feel like that? Do y'all, as black women, do y'all feel like y'all have to compete more in society to win men?
I mean, for me personally, I don't believe in competition as far as when it comes to relationships or with other women, because I believe as a woman, if I compete, then I'm only demeaning myself. But that's something that I had to, grow into. I think it just depends. I mean, when I lived in Atlanta, I can truly say that there were a lot of single black women. And
We're outnumbered. Let's just about
Well,
it.
Atlanta is different though.
Well, yeah,
But no,
all over the world, bro.
Because the fun boys are
Absolutely.
down there.
Just all over the
Where-
world, man. We
Statistically,
outnumbered, man.
there are more women in this world than men.
If women would have voted, man,
Hey,
Hillary
and
would have won.
listen, in Washington, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think they said in Washington D.C. that women outnumber men like 32-1.
Yeah.
But I mean, but let's break this down. Okay, if it is true that it's outnumbered, because I've heard the whole thing. I'm just saying, just as far as black men are concerned,
Right,
it's not enough
right.
black men to go around. But I mean, we have a whole continent of black men. But let's break down this population.
Right.
Okay, so let's just say there are more women than men. Well, every woman don't like men. So
Right.
so it gets
That
a little
lessens.
bit smaller.
It lessens.
Absolutely. So I mean, I'm just a spiritual person, like I said. So I believe that there is somebody out there for everybody. And,
Right.
and personally, I don't believe that you should have to compete. I don't want to have to compete for my dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have to compete for my
If
twin
you have to
flame.
compete, that's not.
Absolutely, I
right.
didn't have to compete to get him. And personally, for what I've created, what I've manifested for my world, I can't speak for Raquel. I can't speak for anybody else. It's never been a drought for Lisa. There's way more beautiful women. There's way more educated. Sorry. There's way more educated women out there. But for what I manifest, what I draw to me, it's never been a drought. I'm not competing. If the person was for me, we
Confidence.
linked up.
You got confidence.
I have to.
Right.
I have to, have confidence, and I have to have my spiritual foundation, and I have to believe that I manifest what happens in my world. I mean, the Creator has his point of, his hand in it. But, I personally I don't believe that a woman has to compete for who's for her.
Right.
I didn't compete for my twin flame. I mean, we just came together.
Keep calling him your twin flame.
Okay, can I
I
break
love
that
it.
down? Can I
Yes,
break that down?
please,
Okay.
please break that
Okay.
down.
Can we get a T-shirt?
Twin
Can we get a T-shirt from
Twin
YCP
flame.
Global?
Twin flame.
Yes, twin flame.
Okay, we've all heard about soulmates. Soulmates is, to me, everybody you cross paths with. That homeless person in the street is your soulmate. Your best friend is your soulmate. Those are people that are meant for your soul growth, right? So your wife could be your soulmate and not necessarily your twin flame. A twin flame connection is a connection on every single level. It's like the ultimate connection. And personally, I feel like I found that. I don't feel like this person is my soulmate. I feel like he's my twin flame just because of the connection that you have on every single level.
That's bigger than soulmate. A twin
Bigger than
flame.
soulmate. Bigger than
So if it's a twin flame and all that shit breaks down like that, then why ain't y'all married?
Hey, twin flame, if you're listening, you better.
Twin flame, like
Twin flame, come on, man.
did y'all just
Come
like
on,
why
I
ain't y'all
mean-
married then? If it's because what you said, it ain't no breaking that flame.
I mean, and timing plays a part in it too. You know what I mean? And this is a very new
No, I
situation.
don't know what you mean.
This is a very new situation for me.
Okay.
But it's
Only time will tell, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
New
Absolutely.
situation, and you done already broke all that down. We ain't got nothing
And
left.
see, one thing I'm gonna break it down about a twin flame. It's not always where they actually link up to be married. You know what I mean? So I mean, it gets really deep.
Hold up.
No, I mean, but seriously, it gets
Let
really
her break
deep.
it down. Let her break it
It gets really deep. It's believed that you can have this connection with this person, but it may not be meant for you to walk with that person because for your soul to grow, it might be meant for you to hook up with your soulmate. I mean, it gets
That's
really
maturity.
deep. It
That's
gets
maturity
really deep.
thinking.
Hold the hell up. Y'all flame, twin flames. You the way you broke all that down, it might not be meant for y'all to walk together.
It
So
might
that
not
means
be.
eventually y'all may walk apart.
It's possible.
Anything is possible, but if you got it lined up like that and y'all in love like that, then what we waiting on?
I
Twin
mean,
flame, listen, if you are listening right now, we need you.
Yeah, twin flame, chime
When
in
she
on this.
comes home, meet her at the door.
Well, if they flames like that, he already at the door.
Hey,
Candles lit. You know what I'm saying? Candles lit.
Let's
He already
go,
at the
twin
door.
flame,
But no,
twin
I
flame.
understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're saying.
well, I mean, I mean, that's just what
That's
I
your
believe.
perspective.
Your
I get it.
perspective might be totally different.
You
You
right.
might believe that twin flames hook up and they
Well, the way
live
you make
happily
it
ever after.
sound, you make it sound a twin flame, and you put
It's
that
just as
fire
far.
together.
It's just as far as your connection, and then like as far as your walk together and things like that. That's what it really breaks down to. Like you're not going to connect with that on that level with every single person.
And you know, like in all seriousness, though, it does seem like that you two are at a great starting point. So just build on that.
I mean, yeah. Well, to be honest, me and this person were friends for many years. I mean, I'm talking about like 7th grade. So, but you know, we've always just stayed in contact. I mean,
Come on now, 7th grade, and you still playing around?
No.
Not saying y'all been together since 7th grade, but y'all
No,
been
I
knowing
mean,
each other.
but
So you pretty much know everything about him. He know pretty much everything about you.
absolutely.
There it
But
is.
you know, there's just a growth thing. There's a
Yeah.
timing thing.
Yeah, y'all-
because
y'all-
I wouldn't have been ready for him 10 years
Don't
ago.
force
Right,
it.
right.
Listen,
You know,
listen.
you ready
Don't.
for him now, right?
Absolutely.
Twin
Absolutely.
flame. Get your shit together, dude.
Hey, but listen, don't force
But
it.
I mean,
Do not force it.
that brings up an even bigger scenario because I know people that get married and the relationship is ruined. I mean, I don't know if it's just a title, so and that's not to kill anybody's dream on getting married because I absolutely promote that if you think it's right for you. But all marriages aren't good marriages, and that's been shown because of the divorce rate, right? People get divorced because they find out at some point in time that this person was not meant for them. Again, I'm not, my disclaimer is don't take my word for it because everybody's
Absolutely.
situation is different. But, with my experiences, I'm a little hesitant on, getting married. I think that will come.
Absolutely.
But, I've been in that situation, divorced. I've jumped in the wagon too soon. I can admit that. You have this idea that you want something and it doesn't really pan out the way you want it to be because you start figuring out like, wow, this is not what I thought it was. So I think that having, like you mentioned this in the very beginning when we were talking, but having that friendship is important. Hanging on to that is important because once you even if you get married and you lose that friendship title and now you entitled, you got your hat on and it becomes something else.
Absolutely.
Now it's like you mine, shut up. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that now because we married.
It should.
You can't lose that.
It should stay friendship.
Right.
Most people
So
get the ring and
if
then
you
I
don't
own
feel
you.
like if you don't forget, yes, a title, yes, a ring, but lose the title,
Absolutely.
right? Because at the end of the day, you're still friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said earlier is that some people should remain friends because once you get into a different bracket, even some people who are just physically and mentally friends, and not physically, but mentally and verbally friends. You know what I'm saying? Some of those are not the best. You be like, man, we have fun, we do so much stuff together, and then some people take it to the next level and find out that's not
Absolutely.
that's not it. This dude was cool. I've been knowing him since high school, but then as soon as we hit the sheets, it was something else. Now it's turned off. So relationships are tough, but I definitely think that people should, like you said in the beginning, people should remain friends, and then when that time is right, they'll know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Give
man,
it a little
great points.
time.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Somebody said you're already married, Lisa. It just ain't on paper.
The exchange of souls starts before anything physical. So, for me, my soul exchanged with his just through conversation, through understanding.
If you don't
through
mind,
prayer.
like how long was y'all together before you decided that he was a twin flame?
To me, it was. I cannot.
Hilarious.
But for the longest, he was soulmate. Then it was twin flame.
Okay.
It's just something that just clicked.
Okay.
I can't pinpoint a time.
Okay.
If you will, it's just something that clicked.
Because there's people out there,
This twin
it's
flame. Did you come up with this?
What twin flame? I'm gonna send you a link so you
Uh-oh.
can
No, I
start your
just
study.
I didn't know. I'm just asking.
No,
like,
it's not anything that I make up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm just asking.
Actually, it was something I was exposed to.
Okay.
Just some people I crossed
Yeah.
paths with. I'm like, oh, there's this thing higher than soulmate.
Okay, that's why I was asking. You know, I didn't
Right,
know.
right.
I never heard it. So
Hey, Raquel, I have a question.
Y'all me again.
I know, man. Raquel,
Raquel, I have a question.
Lisa.
And
You too quiet over here.
and I'll paraphrase this question. It's actually from one of our viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. What is your take on polygamy? I mean, could you be involved in a relationship based on that?
No.
Why not?
I just need one mate. I mean, no.
2 is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lying.
There's
lying.
a crowd.
She
There's a
lying.
crowd.
Y'all, look. Let's get to the biggest subject. Women are freaks. Okay. Let's get to the big. Let's get to the biggest subject. Women are freaks. I've heard a woman say, "If I had 3 men, that's my fantasy." I'm like, what? What are you doing with 3 guys?
She's a freak. Whoever
Y'all playing games. Y'all playing games. See,
He
women
didn't say
are
all women. He said
women are
women.
bigger freaks than men. Let that be known. You know, we get a little crazy
Ask our
sometimes.
viewers.
but-
All right, if you're watching right now, do you think a woman is a bigger freak than a man?
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
Oh man,
That is a no-brainer.
yeah,
Look, that's why they quiet. Look.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, I was
Oh,
drinking
yeah,
my
yeah, see,
man.
look.
Hey, look,
And look,
awful
I thought that
cold.
you guys
What was the
had-
question?
Stir that soup
Raquel,
up, girl.
and look, Raquel caught a flashback, but she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry." What
What was the
that?
question again?
I mean,
That is not.
Raquel caught a flashback quick, but she froze. She was.
She said, "Oh, hello."
Y'all know it.
Let's see what the viewer. Did anybody say anything? Nah.
Somebody said, "Yep."
yep.
Somebody said, "Yep."
Mm-hmm.
Ebony said, "See emoji."
I'll suck a wet donut. Hey, look.
What?
What's going on in the comment section?
Oh,
LD,
man.
LDE.
What are you
who-
talking-
Come on, man. What are you talking about, man?
That has to be spam.
You need to say that info for your partner behind doors. Who
Oh my
else?
goodness.
Wildcard
Nah.
Luck said women are bigger freaks than men. Why do you think that is, Wildcard Luck? I mean, you know what? I agree.
Because
agree.
women internalize it more. Like they're more emotional.
It's for real.
So
When the lights go off, y'all turn into sex dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Now-
Y'all hilarious.
Now we got
Fifth.
now relationship soup. Now we pleading the fifth over here. Come on, now it's a great area. We talking about what people
Great area.
don't want to talk about. It
Exactly.
don't got to
Well-
be your own personal experience, but I mean, you a woman. Speak for the women out there. What do you
Well, that's
think?
kind of hard to do. I mean,
It ain't hard to do. What you think?
Well,
cut the-
okay. Well, let me tell you what I think based on societal standards. Is that cool?
Based
on
whatever
societal standards?
Societal
What I'm
standards.
saying is this.
We know
What
it's
I'm
true.
saying is this. Women are taught, if you just want to say in general,
Right.
you know, to be conservative, to
Mhm.
be cool, you know what I mean? Not to
Yeah.
really be out there
Yeah,
like
I could
that.
blow off 20 men in like nothing in like 5 minutes. Just no.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's I can't really speak on that. It just
Man,
depends
when a
on the
woman gives
Can't
herself
speak
to
on
you,
that, or
she
you
gives
won't
herself
speak on
to
that.
you.
There's a difference. I can't speak on that, or you won't speak on that.
I can't speak for every. Like, I don't know what she does in her bedroom.
We're not asking you to talk about what she do in her bedroom. You got enough friends that you know.
We don't all kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell.
I didn't say that you did, but man, come on, man. You cut the boy. In relationship soup, all them people that get in your form.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean,
no.
you
She
speak
has a
on that?
very strict form.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
She's a
is,
very strict
No,
form.
I mean, but you can
from what I've
speak on
heard.
the experiences
as
that
long
they
as they
talk
do it
about.
within the realms
Right.
of, I mean, we've talked about sex,
Right.
we've talked about positions, we've talked about.
You talking about
I mean,
sex positions. You
we
talking
talk
with
about
more
that.
women in the soup or more men in the soup about sex and
Actually,
positions?
It's a
I would
mixture.
say that more women have talked about,
Now,
as
there it
per
is.
relationships too, more women have posed those questions and interacted on those questions. I mean, men do respond as well. So, but I don't know if that's.
If you had to
conclusive
block,
of
you had to
people's freaking
block
out.
somebody out of relationship soup from taking it to the next level.
Would I?
Somebody
I said, have you had to block people from
Yeah, I
relationship soup?
had a stripper recruiting for customers, so she had to go.
Oh, she was in there
wow.
scouting.
Hey, she posted
She was
pictures
in there
and everything.
scouting.
I was like, okay, no, that ain't what we about.
Wow. So
And I
yeah.
keep it that way for business relationships.
yeah.
How can I do a
charity.
fundraiser? Yeah,
Mhm.
charity stuff. I
Yeah.
like to keep my options open.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can be freaky in the inbox. Hit them on the DM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but just don't put it out in the open. Yeah.
If you on relationship soup, you better bring it. You better have it together, for real. Because it's some groups out there that's raw and uncut. And Facebook make it to where people can just add you, and you click on so you be like, man, what is
Yeah,
this?
you be looking
Yeah,
down
you
your
finding
feed
all
like,
kind
how
of
I get in
stuff.
this? Yeah.
Because I know I
Yeah.
was side-eyeing some of my friends like, ooh, what you belong to?
And you'll be amazed with some of your friends in them groups talking too. You be like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
Miss
Wow.
Church Lady,
You
getting
was
on
just
those,
in a
get down like
Them
that.
church ladies overrated, boy. You know,
It was
the-
just
in them
relationship
groups,
soup,
them
I'm
church
like,
ladies
God.
be the ones, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
In them groups talking that mess.
What our viewers got to say over there?
Pat.
Yeah.
Here's a question by Danny Banks. I mean, Raquel, feel
Okay.
free to chime in.
It's somebody else's turn this time.
Okay, well, listen. Danny Banks asked this question: is it easier to learn more about the person living under the same roof, or by friendship?
I say under the same roof. I mean, like a little bit of both, but you won't really know somebody till you live with them. I mean, like that's just proof in the facts right there. I mean, some people can be as cool as ever
Absolutely.
on the outside. You go visit them, you go home. They come over and kick it, they go home. Whatever. They don't live with you. When they live with you, you guys see them every day. You wake up and you go to sleep, and you seeing this person in all kind of different lights. You know what I'm saying? You may be like, man, I don't know who this person is. This is not the same person I was dating. So I say it's good to live with somebody so that, I mean, you find out more in-house to me, I think, because you can wait 90 days, but you still have never lived with that person. You know what I'm saying? 3 years. But until you live with that person, you're not going to know.
Oh, Ray.
I disagree.
Ray in trouble now.
I disagree, and I tell you why. Because there's sex will happen. Now, what
Absolutely.
what if you're trying to get to know this person and she ends up pregnant, and it's like, oh damn, and like the point where you like, man, I don't want to be with her, she's pregnant. Now what do you do?
That's your fault.
Yes, that's why y'all need to have your own cribs.
No.
You need to have your own cribs, man.
Your own shit.
No.
Oh, your own why? Like, if you get a person pregnant that you don't want to be pregnant, and y'all live together. I mean, like, the first 4 weeks are cool, but that 5th week is like,
That has happened.
hell?
Is that why a lot of people
Like, who
single?
is this? And then she come back like,
You already know who this
I'm
is.
pregnant. Oh, my God. And I got to deal with that? And she live with you? Psh, come on.
But
You really
everybody
have to
don't
deal
think
with
like
it?
that. Some people be on birth control, so I mean,
I'm just
it's
looking at
manageable.
it, man, from different
He's just
angles.
throwing it out
yeah,
there.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out there,
it's
man.
Because
manageable.
this has happened.
Yeah.
Not-
Yeah.
not
It's-
saying-
it's-
Yeah.
He
Not
just
to
throwing
me.
it out
nothing like
there
that.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
not
it's
to me.
part of
But
that.
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of single women and a lot of kids out here. So I mean,
all day.
you almost know what happened. But I mean, look at this, man. Relationships are tough. I mean, and there's really, I mean, this is a conversation that could go on and on and on. I mean, I've met people who grew up together, became best friends, got married, and are still together. And I know people who in the same situation who got a divorce. Around the same amount of time. It's just really, you just got to find that friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? That person's a friend. And stop rushing into stuff.
Yeah.
I got a question.
People rush into stuff too much.
I got a
Man,
Give
question.
some
because they-
time.
Yeah, I got a question for the relationship soup. No, the question is, what do you like? What's the next level for the relationship soup? Is it where it's supposed to be? It's gonna stay there, or is there a bigger platform for the soup, or what?
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
what's the
Oh, yeah,
aspiration?
Well,
If
I mean,
there
I
is
did-
one, I'm just.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely have it in my business plan as far as just taking it to a whole nother level with just even from the media standpoint.
Yeah.
So I will divulge that much.
Okay,
But,
cool.
I'm always thinking how to elevate, how to do better. How can I add? How can I make this product better? You know, I
Right.
think you always have to be able to reinvent. Because I think you have to kind of keep up with, different trends and people and people's needs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot of plans for relationship
Gotcha.
soup.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm happy what the soup is doing now. I'm happy at the lives that it has touched. Like, I have so many testimonials. Like, there was even a member who wanted to commit suicide.
Oh,
and
man.
she was
Wow.
like, she inboxed me. She said, call me.
From a relationship problem?
Relationship, everything was coming down on her at one
Man.
time. And she said, just call me private. Here's my number. I mean, I'm telling you, we talked for 3 hours. I'm doing an ugly cry with her. You know what I mean? But she actually said how relationship soup helped her. You know, she would log in, and I have a member, Dr. DeBri Pratt. She's always posting stuff about being positive, God, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then people sharing their stories. And it's helped her. Well, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, I'm not by myself. So, relationship soup has done a lot of good. So, I want to continue to elevate that and to,
Yeah, and we encourage that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people look for forums, and that because there's just a lot of people who naturally don't want to go to a relationship forum where it's just buck wild crazy because they scared to say something. But your blog in Relationship Soup is like it's a little bit strict, so you get a lot of structured people
Absolutely.
who are not all about the crazy stuff, and they'll even like tell somebody you can't do that in here,
Absolutely.
stuff like that. So I mean, what you've built is amazing.
Thank
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Keep it and don't don't change it. You know what you're doing. What you do for you works.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of people that appreciate that, obviously, because your followers are continuing to grow. So
Yeah.
and we'll keep supporting it. You know,
Yeah.
any way we
We'll.
can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
you.
We'll
Thank
help
you
in
so
much.
any way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, man, I just want to talk about a couple more things real quick. Real quick. What's domestic violence? It's a lot of people that they get trapped in these relationships where they get abused and they can't leave. You know, I'm sure we probably have a few viewers that are in relationships with people that are abusive, and abusive doesn't necessarily have to be a physical. It's verbal abuse too. So some people can not put a hand on you, but mentally, verbally abuse you, and it create the same wounds. You know, what do you say to those people? And I mean, it's not just women. There's men out there that
That's true.
that are
Yeah.
going through the same thing with women that just you can't do shit right. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
You ain't shit.
you know, like the Norbit types. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
true.
know, it's unfortunate,
Rasputia.
but yeah.
There were actually, and actually, I lost a member to domestic abuse. She was murdered by her
Wow.
husband.
Oh my God!
So yeah, it's real. And I've had men admit that they were in an abusive situation. So I mean, what I tell those people is, I mean, those situations, get help and get out because it's not healthy. You know, I mean, you could lose your life if it's physical,
Right.
whether it's men or women. You know,
Right.
and I think that there may be more men in abusive, physically abusive relationships, but they like, man, I got to be hard. You know, I can't be letting people know that this woman's beating my butt.
That's
you know?
what I think it turns into. I think it starts out
Absolutely.
as those guys not wanting to show that they're soft,
Absolutely.
and they become overly aggressive, and then they have to maintain that because and let's be real, some women are alphas and they test and they want to bring that man out of you, and that drives it as well.
Absolutely.
But then they find out real quick that
But
okay,
see the
I ain't
alpha
never
part though.
I never
Yeah.
put myself in a man's place. Never. I never ever.
Yeah, and see, I don't even.
I don't challenge.
You know, I'm not like debating, but I'm just saying like the alpha part of a woman hitting a man. I don't even think that's an alpha part. I mean, I just think that that's just ignorance and insecurity, because most women know that if a man like hits her, he's going to really hurt her.
Absolutely.
And I just think that some women do it to provoke him to do something back to her. I mean, I'm all for women not even going there, because a lot of men, especially these younger dudes now, they're fighting girls like they're dudes.
Absolutely.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
yeah, and these dudes is swinging back, swinging back and knocking the mess out of them. So I would say, man, look, know your place, but don't stay in nothing that is going to continue to hinder your ability to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's it. You know what I'm saying? That dude might be laying the pipe, he might be paying the bills, but one day he gonna strike you and it's gonna be over. You know what I'm saying? So all that means nothing.
Especially if there's children involved. I mean, the children are the biggest losers. You know, and I say, look, seek out your local domestic shelter, because I used to volunteer at a lot of different shelters around the city.
Yeah.
And and get those resources, whether you're a man or a woman. Get
Right.
those resources. Get
There's
those
a lot of
counseling.
resources out there.
Absolutely, because they'll counsel you
Right.
for pennies. Or
But people are afraid to talk about it too. They're afraid to go to somebody and say somebody's putting their hands on them. So, they got to build up that confidence one way or another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually had a girl, she was in another state, and she actually posted a picture of her of her face. He had black
Wow.
eye. And so, but I mean, talk about it, get those resources, and I mean, you have to get out of that.
Right.
Whether it means y'all get counseling later to try to make it, I don't know, but you have to look out for you. That's
Right.
not healthy. It's not for your higher good. Not
Right.
mentally, not spiritually, not physically. Get out.
Because some women stay in it to the death. Like they love a person so much that You know, it's
Some women
like,
stay in it because that's all they know.
yeah,
Or
They
they don't
yeah.
feel
The
saw
taken
it.
police
away.
come ready to take them
Yeah,
away, and
or
they don't
feel
want to
like,
take them away and
yeah,
all that.
or they feel like I don't have other outlet. I can't make it on my own. Or they feel like, you know what? I saw my mother go through it, so I'm supposed to do this. Or they feel like, man, you know, depending on where they live or the situation, you know, where am I gonna live? It's cold outside, so I gotta stay here because he's my provider.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right,
Versus, you know, I mean, sometimes women just weak. You know, they already beat down, so now they weak. I'm not strong enough to get up on my own to go out here and prove that I can make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of integral parts that play into that domestic type of situation. I grew
And the
up
kids,
in, yeah,
kids
I
see
was
it.
one of those kids. So I grew up, and I've been put out, and then came back, and saw mama go through that. You know what I'm saying? Again, and I'll never forget. Like, hey, why we? But I understood. She went back. One, she loved my dad. You know what I'm saying? She really did. But then she also went back because she was just like, man, I think this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until she finally, broke out of that shell and was like, you know what? I can get this on my own because she had learned from him that, I can get this on my own. But, there's a lot of other parts that played into that I found out later on as an adult why my mom always went back. I care not to say it on air, but a lot of women get in those same situations and they don't understand that I have to go back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because of fear for life or fear for
They want to try and keep it
whatever
together for
situation.
kids,
Yeah,
and
you know
they're
what I
looking
mean?
at the
So,
bigger picture.
It's any individual, man or woman. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're in a physical or abusive relationship, I think that's one of those no-brainers where, you know what, this ain't good for me or you.
Right.
For the mind, for the soul, for the body,
Right.
because you could become very, very stressed out, and then that stress leads to disease, and that disease leads to death.
That's right.
And you know what I mean? It ain't
A
necessarily
horrible way to die.
You know what I'm saying? And you trying to figure
Miserable.
out why am I sick? You know what I mean? You sick because you in a sick relationship.
Absolutely.
So I'm just a firm believer. If it gets physical, if it gets abusive, feel like that you probably shouldn't be in it. So.
I agree.
All right.
Points.
A woman hit us up before we got relationship shoot. I mean, not relationship shoot. Sorry, the gray area started. She asked a question. She was like, "I'm 51, and I've seen all kinds of different men. I've been through, seen all of them. She's 51 years old, but she's still looking for love." I told her that we would have a relationship show and hopefully get some people on there that will be able to help get an answer for her. But she's an older woman, and I don't call her a cougar because I don't know her style of men. I don't know who she dates and what she dates, but she has dated different levels and ages of men, and she's having a very hard time. And this is a lot of women. I mean, not just her, but it just gives you insight because there are older women out there really struggling to get in a relationship. Like they didn't see themselves at that age being single. What can we as a group tell this woman and women like her, because they all want love, they all want to be in a place where like one woman was saying that she's not financially ready, she's scared she might get with somebody, and while she may have a good personality and good character, her finances might be there, and they overly think. Older women tend to overly think about those situations, which probably this is why they're single a little bit longer than normal. So, what can we tell these women who are a little bit older, getting older, no time for games? They've been through it all. What's the word?
I mean, I just say you have to go with the flow, and I know that's easier said than done because, I mean, the way I painted my life, I was supposed to be married at 25, first kid by 30, I'm over 30 now. But you have to go with the timing of your life, and then you just have to figure out, well, maybe at this point, it's still not meant to be. You can't force it. You got to stop looking, and maybe it's meant for you to go volunteer, maybe it's meant for you to do something else, and you have to just have consolation with that. Sometimes it's just truly timing. So I mean, and I think sometimes when we overthink things and we stress about them, then that's what we draw to us. We don't draw our desired result because we're focused on what we don't want. Or we focused on what ain't meant to be at that point. I just think you have to stop looking and you have to figure out.
Just live life and let
That's
it
all you can
find
do.
you. Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, truth. I mean, the doomsday of it is it might not even be meant for you to be with anybody. I
Right.
don't know. You might die tomorrow. I don't know.
That's another good point.
Yeah,
You know.
I think that's a cop out though. When people have that mindset, hey, you know, it's not. Hey, I'm not. There's somebody for everybody. There's too many
Yeah.
people
Too
on
many
this
people in
planet.
the
Yeah.
world.
But
That's true.
finding that person, I think is hard. I don't think it's hard for anybody to get with somebody. Anybody can go out there and get somebody, but it's finding the right person for you.
Well, Ray, you'll never know until you get out your own way. A lot of
That's
people,
true.
a lot of
That's
people,
true.
in
A
their
lot of
own
people
way.
stubborn.
What you plant's gonna grow. So if you grow, I
Right.
can't find nobody, then that's the seed you watering every day. Guess what? You ain't gonna find no damn body.
Yeah.
So
Right.
stay at home with
Yeah.
your cat or your dog and keep, dwelling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
but
there's
if you
somebody
go on and
for
get out
everybody.
but if
There's
you get
somebody
out
for
your own
everybody.
way, then you
Right.
you can find somebody. You probably already got that person. You just don't want to let them in.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, whoever you are, I'm telling you, get out your own way. You know what I'm saying? And just let go and keep doing your thing. You know, well, don't keep doing whatever you're doing because if you're still single and that shit ain't working, get out your own way. Plant you a different seed. Plant you a
Compromise.
positive seed.
Compromise.
You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about your
Sacrifice.
finances because you may meet that man and say, girl, don't worry about no
That's
finances.
true.
You know what I'm saying? While you still worry about your finances, you may meet that man, girl, I got you.
Right.
Now you're
Right.
like, well, dang, I ain't got to worry about no finances. Now what? Now what's your
Yeah.
excuse? You know what I mean? So a lot of people it's fear, man. That's
Oh,
male
yeah.
and
It's
female.
fear all day.
Good point.
Another question and I'll break this down. I think I broke this down before, but not necessarily this deep. But men and women are raised totally different. Women are raised, nurtured, cared for. Y'all hug. Y'all basically build a relationship when y'all, from the time y'all young to the
Yeah.
time y'all get older.
Y'all
So
sustain.
y'all
everything.
develop that nurturing spirit, and we learn relationships from y'all. We're told to get up, shut up, stop crying. We play with Tonka trucks and boom, boom, crash and all that stuff. We get a different style of relationships. Another woman that hit me up wanted to know, like, why do some men, even in their older years, late 30s and early 40s, still play games?
I mean, it could be that can stem from many reasons. Maybe
They're chasing their shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
could possibly.
If I was 10 years younger, man, I
Kanye
should have
said,
did this when I was 21.
I think that they have landed on one. They jump from woman to woman that maintain the same characteristic that will let them be who they want to be. I seriously think
Yeah, that could be a part of it.
there's certain people out there that jump from woman to woman with the same mindset, so they're never taught. They just go from woman to woman. So these dudes get older and they still the same person. But because if a person from the time that they're in a relationship, I can't speak for everybody. Everybody goes through different relationships, but I can't say that. I look at my early 20s and I look at me now. I'm completely different. Like even some things, like I'll think out a situation totally, like from the front to the back. Like, okay, if I go here, then well, what if this happened? And nah, okay, so if I go back home, okay, if I leave home and I go, nah, okay, I'm cool. I'm just gonna stay home. I think like that now. When I was younger, like go over here with all these, shit, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when you're young, but it's people that never understand and never meet the people who can help them change that mentality. To me, because to me, women are the teachers.
First,
You know what I'm saying? Get the relation. Y'all understand relationships.
So are you speaking from a black man's perspective?
I'm only
Because-
speaking from my experience.
Well, yeah, but I could include myself in that. I didn't
Yeah.
have that male example really. My father was not there. To say the least. So, I had to learn relationships by the the women that were in my life, and then like that male example wasn't really good. So yeah, I mean, it does take time when that father man isn't.
But where'd
present.
you get it from? Because man, you have outstanding patience.
Well, you know what? Honestly, man, just when you like when you hear the horror stories of your father, and you say, you know what, man, I'm not going to be like that. My dad has about 13 kids. I'm like,
Damn.
I'm not going to do that. So I was never that type of dude that was just out here, man, just banging all types of women. Like, so I've never been that type of person because his example, man, wasn't good. So I just always wanted to like break that cycle. So, but I had like, one of my best friends is Nick, you know this guy named Nick. He's been married for like I think 12 years now. His his wife and he might get mad at me, but his wife was his first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But his example was good because his father, man, was there. So, I
Yep.
learned from like friends, man, like certain, older, friends, that I have,
Yep.
and just incorporated all of that in. But it's better if your father is there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I mean, and to the point I was making was that, men learn from women. I think if women are listening out there, y'all got to create the standard.
Got my game from my mama.
And y'all got to stick to
My
it.
name from
Because
my
at the end of the day, you could say that men are playing the games if you want to. But really, if you set the standard, there's no games to be played. A lot of men play games because women allow them to.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to be the ones to say no. You know what I'm saying? Because we learn from that. So if your way of opening a relationship is to make this person wait, then make him wait. You know what I'm saying? But what's going to throw it off is if you told him he has to wait 90 days, but you gave it up in 30. Now you got a dude that's playing games because he doesn't believe what you say.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
point.
stick with what you start out with. Otherwise,
Girl, quit playing games.
you know what I'm
90
saying?
days, quit
Otherwise,
playing.
it wasn't for real in the first place. So how can you blame him, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and if that means that you have to, eliminate yourself from that relationship and start fresh with somebody else, you got to do it because you've already set the tone with that one dude.
Absolutely.
So, what the viewers got to say? They just chopping away right now. Danny Banks said,
Pat, reverse the curse.
that's right. That goes back to their parents teaching them and what they see on TV, such as on the Maury show. Is Maury still on?
Yeah, man.
So,
Wow,
it's ridiculous, man.
that's staged.
Let's figure out.
I know some people that went on that
We've been
show,
watching
and
Maury
it was
since
all
high
they got
school.
paid to act a fool.
What some other people got to say? That it? Danny
Tanya
Banks?
Jackson said because men are rewarded for their numbers and women are shamed.
I don't know about that one.
Explain that one.
Tanya. When men are rewarded for their numbers.
It's all good. But look, man, I mean, relationships is like I always said, relationships are very tough. They're hard to figure out. But I think we as a people have to continue helping each other understand them because men are we're black and white. You know what I'm saying? We could be knuckleheads, but we're also black and white. You know what I'm saying? If a guy says that he likes thick women, but you skinny, you can't be mad if he looking at thick women. You know what I'm saying? If he say he likes skinny women and you fat, you can't be mad if he cheated. He told you. You know what I'm saying? So I think and it goes back and forth because women do it to men too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's listening to the signs, listening to what's going on, when it first starts. You know what I'm saying? There's so many signs that you can gather. You know what I'm saying? I won't sit here and list them all because there's tons of blogs out there that list all those signs, but there are tons of things to watch for that men and women do when they really want, if they really want someone or really don't want someone. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to another thing. In the club, why do women dance on each other?
I don't know.
Why do women dance on each other?
I don't do that, so I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
not
it's
saying
an
it's
attention
bad. I'm just
Maybe it's an
asking.
attention thing. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
because men will never do that. That shit. I mean, like, sorry, I almost.
Well,
Women,
I think
women
it depends
dance
on
on
where
each
you
other
go.
to get attention from the man. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of women do that. One, they want attention from a man, but then two, they don't want some type of man or certain men to approach them. So they do whatever to cause attention, man. That's what women do with men. They look
Is
for
that why y'all
attention,
do
man.
it? Y'all
I'm
letting
not
us talk.
speaking
Y'all
for
letting us
y'all,
talk.
but-
Raquel, do you do that?
No, I
Raquel
don't.
don't know nothing.
I mean,
She just
I'll try and
just
get her.
in here listening,
Raquel.
taking it all in.
No, I don't do that.
Ain't got
Okay,
too much to
okay.
say. Raquel, what do you do for a living?
I'm a special ed teacher.
You a special ed
Nice,
teacher?
nice. That's dope.
Oh, okay.
Do you deal with kids with autism?
I don't have any autistic
Okay.
kids this year, but I have a wide range of disabilities.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean that shows why your patience is so outstanding right now.
Yeah.
You just sit and watch it, people all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
She
You know,
ain't
so
saying
she's
why.
been very
She working,
observant.
boy. She working.
Very observant and working. That's what's up, man. Ebony, wait a minute.
Oh yeah. She said, "That's not true. I dance with my friends because I am
Stop it.
having fun."
Yeah, we didn't say dancing with your friends. We said on your friends, Ebony.
Yeah, on your friends.
On your friends, Miss Crow. We know you have fun and dance
Y'all
with
be
your
dancing
friends.
on each other like y'all going home
Some
at night.
women do. So,
I'm trying to figure it out.
man,
Are there any more
Good.
questions from our viewers though?
Absolutely. I mean, we're having this conversation because you guys inboxed us and said, "Hey, we need to talk about it." So let's talk about it. They talking about all kinds of stuff, but that's okay though. You know what? Because we about to wrap this up in a minute, but I got one more thing, and I keep saying one more thing, but I really do. I really do got one more thing. This is from Your Relationship Matters website. Basically, it goes over like the top 25 things of I advise y'all to go there. It's called professionalcounseling.com. It has a lot of good insight on your relationship problems. Also go to relationshipsoup.com because you actually are talking with real other people.
Absolutely.
And if you have a valid question about a relationship, there's 10,000 people in there.
Absolutely.
Somebody gonna know something.
I want to read about this.
So
Well, about the twin flame.
Yeah, the twin
I'ma send you
flame.
that link.
Yeah,
I got
send me
you.
that. Yeah, I don't mind reading. You know what I'm saying?
Say that to me too, Lisa.
I got you.
no, Raquel, you can't have nothing.
Yeah,
Okay? You
yeah.
gotta work.
I mean, she
You
said
gotta
2
work.
words. What is your
You gotta
take on
work.
man? Nothing.
Unrealistic expectations. Do people have unrealistic expectations when they get in a relationship? Like
Somebody said
you with a dude that has like 5 felonies. He's been battery, armed robbery, and you expect him to be like the white knight in shining armor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think no, I think people's expectations are unrealistic. Like you have to look at the person that you're with, and that doesn't mean that you can't love them, but your expectations can't be so high that you end up leaving or cheating on that person because you knew what you got into. Now that's different from finding out something later on because if you got with somebody and you didn't know that they were a certain way, that's really not your fault. You kind of found that out. But going into a relationship, I think it's your duty to understand who this person is prior to taking it any further.
I
And if
agree.
that takes 2 years, so what? I mean, you're finding out about this person that you might potentially spend your life with. But I think that people have unrealistic expectations. You know what I'm saying?
They
They get with
can.
people that
they can. Some people can. You know what I mean?
a lot of people do.
But some people's expectations go up once they get with that person, and then they don't tell the person their expectations. No, it's true.
Yeah,
They
I
don't tell
agree.
that person their expectations, so the relationship
Yeah.
fails because that person is like, okay, you keep telling me one thing, but you keep raising the bar, raising the bar, raising the bar. Well, guess what? I'm never going to reach that height because you keep raising the expectation.
Okay,
Don't keep doing that.
But what if you flip it and then you raise the bar on them and then they don't want to go? Like
Exactly.
I had a
Stuck.
person, a friend of mine had a conversation with me, and he's been with this woman since he was like 20 some years old, married her and everything. They were on and off, went through it. This is why this is why I don't recommend anybody get married young because there's so much you have to go through in a relationship. It could work, but you gonna be in and out that relationship. If you're willing to do that, go ahead. But it's just tough. But he was
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
saying that he was with this woman, since he was 20, 21 years old, and they had like broken on and off, and then at some point they got back together in their 30s. And he thought everything was solid. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay, we finally got it. We finally got into the rotation of everything. And he told her that she didn't have to work. So he put her through school. He's like, I'm gonna put you through school, and you know what I'm saying, you do that, I'm gonna work. He works 7 days a week, still working 7 days a week, putting the hammer down. She got her degree, and now she's ready to go. So, is it his fault for manning up and saying, hey, let me take care of things. You can work. Don't worry about nothing. But as soon as she get her degree, she start frowning upon him like you ain't nothing. You don't make nothing. She got a good job too. She making real good money, probably like 20, 30K more than him. So now he feels like she's frowning upon him, and like dissing him, like she telling him he ain't worth nothing and all this stuff, but she was silent during the whole education process. Basically got her degree. Now she ready to bounce with the kids and everything. So, I mean, what do you tell this man? You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like, yeah, they went through it, but now he's like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? I might be paying child support for doing the right thing.
It's okay. Let her do that.
Yeah.
If you took her that far, you can go do it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? She probably just.
But child support with 3 kids, but 4
kids. You gotta deal with that. You know what I mean? I ain't got child support with 3. You gonna have
that's $100 a week per kid.
I understand. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But what I'm saying is, if he worked that hard to put her through school,
keep it in your pants. Then shit.
No, I'm saying, but look, check this out.
Having all these damn kids.
But he was with her for a long time.
But he was with her. But look, if he worked that hard to put her through school with 3 kids, do all that, you mean tell me you gonna stop grinding?
That's true.
I mean, if you did all that, you might as well keep grinding, dog. She found herself.
Right.
She found herself through whatever. She found herself. Now she make a little bread. She want to be out. You worked that hard to put her through all that. You mean tell me you can't keep grinding?
Hey, is it cheaper to keep her?
That's true. It probably is cheaper to keep her.
It's probably cheaper to keep her, but it's probably better to go.
Could be.
Because if she gonna treat you like that, she gonna treat
one
you
of the
like
kids
now
is
she got
little
bread.
too.
Now she got a little bread in her pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Now she thinks she better than you. Now she independent all of a sudden. Take your independent ass on.
But doesn't
keep grinding?
Doesn't that bring up a good point to say that if you're in a relationship, it's vital that both of you progress and save, because you just never know
You don't.
what somebody's thinking. It's always important for you to get yourself together, and most importantly, if you're not with someone that's progressing you while you're progressing them,
Absolutely.
you got to look at that. You can't be the only
say
one
something?
progressing. I know, Raquel. Did you just say something?
Raquel
Lord
said,
Jesus.
Oh man, she said something.
Man.
Reciprocity is just important. No.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, really quick, y'all, because we have a couple of questions, man, before we do our closing remarks. Hey, Ebony Crow said, and I'm gonna pose this question to Raquel. What about men and women having friends of the same sex? Like, is that a cool thing, man, to do?
Having friends of the same sex.
Yes.
Were those friends? Did those friends
So,
come
like-
before, or were they like? Obviously, they knew him before.
So let's say like you, right? Okay.
Okay.
Like,
the opposite sex.
yeah. So
okay.
so
'Cause I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You said the same
Yeah,
sex.
that's why I'm
Yeah,
confused on that.
that's what she said. She said, "What about men and women having friends of the same sex?" I mean, I'll take that as she meant the opposite sex, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So if your twin flame has
Friends, but they fall back when I'm in a relationship because that can just be a little bit uncomfortable. Like
Okay.
they're not calling me at if they were going through it at midnight, they're not going to call me at midnight. You know what I mean? As long as the boundaries are respected, because people have a life before you. And you know if you have a friend that's interested in you, you know if you have a friend that's going to disrespect your relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think that you
Or
have
sometimes
to be,
you don't know. What if it's a
Until-
friend that's been a friend, but he been waiting all this time to get in, and he's still trying.
and and if he's still trying and I'm still entertaining that, then I'm not being true to my
Right.
relationship.
Right.
Like, it's just like once a person shows their colors, you should dismiss it. Or you have to decide, does my friendship mean more than my relationship? My relationships mean everything to me. And I feel like if my friends are true friends, they're going to be there. You know what I mean? Like if it don't work out or whatever.
Right.
But I never allow my man to feel where it's uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, so as long as boundaries are respected, because I'm we all have a life before we are with the person.
Yeah.
yeah.
But my father, one seed he gave me is what you'll find in a relationship. The friends that you make after you two are together, the opposite sex, those usually work out better. You know, as far as your relationship is concerned. But I mean, that's just as per his experience.
Yeah. And okay, and here's another question, Raquel. I mean, can you answer this one, please? Man, don't roll your eyes
Jesus,
at me.
Raquel. Come on now.
What is the
I
difference?
was gonna answer your other one.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Well, you can answer this one.
You got to jump in and say
Well, let me
something.
answer this one.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as having friends of the opposite sex, I think that's a good discussion that you can have with your mate to see what his concerns are about that. So I think that's something I would do, and I would definitely take his concerns into consideration.
Great.
Short and quick, man.
Hey, she's a politician, man.
Man. Yeah. Come on, Hillary.
She is a politician. Okay, now what is the difference between dating and courting.
Dating and courting.
Most have no clue. That was posed by Robert Gaines III. What is the difference between
guess
dating and
everybody-
courting? Dude,
What's the definition?
what is the difference between dating and courting?
To me, it ain't. You dating and courting the same
It's
thing.
a difference. It's a difference.
Uh-oh.
I think-
It's a
I
difference.
think
Okay.
courting is when you actually hone in on one person, where dating is just like you might be dating 20 people. But when you make
okay.
the decision to court, it's not necessarily a relationship. It's like that step under a relationship.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Damn.
but
Next step.
it's just when you hone in on one person.
Right.
So
Okay.
courting means you in a relationship.
No,
Well,
it's a step under.
I mean, personally,
come
I
on
would
now.
I would consider it. It can be a relationship, but it's kind of like you talking. I don't know if y'all. I mean, back in the day, like,
If
yeah,
we talking, then we dating.
But to put
Nah.
the courtship title on
No.
it,
Nah.
No,
I mean, I see more of what she's saying.
So you date first, then you talk, then you court.
no, you date. You make the decision that, okay, well, you know what, I'm ready to put everybody else aside to see what we could be. It's like you're with somebody with the purpose of developing a relationship or whatever.
What part is that, courting or
well,
talking?
Well, see, talking to me is, and
Ebony says courtship is an intention to marry in certain religions.
I mean, yeah, it can be that too. It can definitely be that too. Like, I mean,
Give me the levels.
I mean, talking
That
to
ain't
me,
shit.
like if I'm talking to a woman, that means I'm like talking to her every day. Dating, I'm not talking to her every day. I mean, I might call her like on a Friday, hey, you know, what's happening? You know, I'm about to go here. You know, you want to go to a movie? Like, that's dating. Talking, I mean, I'm calling her every day, every morning. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Are you up?
So when do you go from talking to courting?
Well, courting to me is basically what she just said. You
When
know,
we
is-
living together.
Nah, that's
That's a damn relationship.
Yeah,
You living
yeah,
together.
yeah. That's
You
relationship.
damn, you
Yeah, that's
damn
relationship.
right.
Nah,
I mean, I
but
didn't
like
know.
courting. Now, I mean, but
There's levels to this.
But to me, courting is more of, hey man, listen, you know, I want you to meet my parents, or you know, meet, you know, my mom, like because you're that. I mean,
you serious now
but you're still not.
together.
Yeah, but you're.
You potential.
Thank you. I mean, to me, that's
You
courting.
could be the number one pick, but I don't know yet.
Tanya says the level is talking, dating, and then courting. Courting and then relationship. Okay, talking, dating, then courting, relationship.
All right. Okay. Now,
Yeah, see,
Okay.
I'm not,
but when
I'm
you
not
living
talking-
together, what y'all doing?
nah, that's
It's
a
a
relationship.
relationship.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
a
need to know
That's a relationship.
what people are. You know what I'm saying? So okay.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't know nothing about courting. I skipped all kind of steps.
I think that's kind of like a throwback thing. You know,
I went
people
from
don't really
talking
say
to
courting.
relationship.
So all right. I'm good with
All
that.
right, cool. Man.
But hey, y'all, it's been great. We're gonna wrap it up. I know y'all probably didn't watch the new edition. We're gonna go back and watch the DVR because y'all ain't told us nothing about it while y'all tuning in. But it's all
It
good.
isn't
You
love.
know what I'm saying? This is the gray area, and we're gonna wrap up. Lisa Hughes,
Yes.
thank you for coming.
Thank you, and Raquel, thank you.
If you could tell the viewers anything, you know, in regards to the conversation about relationships that we had today, what would you tell them?
I mean, for me, it's the golden rule. Just treat people like you want to be treated. You know,
Absolutely.
communicate up front, exercise reciprocity, you know, and just get that foundation together.
Okay.
And they can join the conversation on Facebook at Relationship Soup.
There it is.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Raquel, look, hold on. Let me give you a disclaimer first. It has to be more than a paragraph, okay? Because I know you didn't work this out before we even got to this point.
Hey,
And you
yeah.
probably got about 2 sentences.
Please don't do Russell Simmons. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night.
So
Please
give
don't do Russell
us
Simmons.
your closing statements, Raquel.
My advice would be to just be patient, and what's for you will eventually come.
Dope.
I told you,
Dope.
less than a
That is
sentence.
dope. Thank you, Raquel. That's powerful,
Man.
though. Yeah.
That's big. Dope.
Man, my closing statement for the night. First of all, thank you too for coming through. Thank you for blessing us on the show. It's a growing show, so we appreciate all the support we get.
Absolutely.
As far as the relationship is concerned, man, be you, be who you are. Accept the other person for who they are. Bring those two together, mesh, intertwine, and make it work. But at the end of the day, don't be good, be great.
There it is.
Word.
P. Wills.
Lovely, lovely. I want to also thank y'all for coming. I would just say, you know, people just be patient with relationships, man. You know, don't force anything. Be appreciative of the relationships that you do have, and just make them better. And just always be open for constructive criticism. Period.
There it is. This is Ray E. My closing statements is that relationships are tough, and I said this multiple times during it. Nobody has all the answers. You can read 50 books and still not have all the answers because everybody is different. Every relationship or every person that you encounter is a different movie. Look at it like that. So you watching a different movie. You can't compare the first one to the last or the last one to the first. People's mentality and I mean, everything is different. Mm-hmm. So just live by those standards. That if you have to leave, do so for the well-being of your mental state. But if you're going to stay, be prepared to fight. Be prepared to go through the ups and downs, and just know that nobody is perfect.
That's right.
No person that you ever are going to be with, I don't care if they look the best, whatever, you're not going to be perfect. There's going to be something you hate about them, and you just have to live with that. So if I could say anything, is just, continue to love who you love, and if you're dating, be safe. Be safe out there. It's getting crazy. If you're single, be patient. And if you're in a relationship, try and work it out.
Make it work.
And if you can't, then you know what you got to do. I just want to let y'all know that, it's always been great for the viewers to chime in. Please continue to share this feed. Anybody who's watching, please share this feed. We can't do this without you. The Gray Area is a growing and inspiring show, and, we're getting a lot of good looks, and we got a lot of good views, and we got a lot of good things coming up. We got Cut the Deck coming up. It's a raw and uncut show. We're going to have some fun characters on there. Music and Life is coming, where we give artistry the front seat. If you know any artists or musicians or anybody who's good at what they do, has got an album coming out or anything, let us know. We'll try to get them in here and go over their music with them and just find out where their inspiration was. That's a great platform. We also have 2 other items coming up. We have a segment where we're going to have kids on here. I think it's important for us to highlight our kids and allow them to talk. We had a very good friend, LD Deuce. His kids are going to be some of our guests. On the kids show. Young kids. What are they? 7, 8?
Yeah.
And so we're not talking teenagers. We're talking little kids. If you ever sat and asked a kid questions, you'd be amazed with some of the stuff they come up with. Indeed. Brilliant minds. We have to listen to the kids, so be prepared for that show.
Indeed.
Lastly, we want to support teenagers and young women who are becoming women. A friend of ours, Elenia Moore, is we're going to be working with her over the next a couple of weeks on putting together a show called More of Life, more out of life.
Yes.
And basically she is dedicating herself to helping young teenagers evolve and become who they need to be. That's young men and young women. So we're fortunate to have somebody come to us to want to be able to put on a segment like that. We can't miss. We're trying to hit all the different groups and areas of people, and that's going to be something that she's going to head up later on. So, but more to come. Thank you guys for tuning in, and this is the Gray Area. We'll talk to you soon.